community, here at CGU, we are dedicated to building a stronger and more united tomorrow.
We believe that with the power of community, we can make America stronger than ever before. Let's stop working towards getting back to a normal, and let's focus on building an even better than normal tomorrow. Connor and Gaskins Unlimited knows we're all in this together, and we are ready to help. Check us out on the web at www.cgunlimited.com.
Stay strong,
stay healthy,
and God bless the USA.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Honey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit FloridaCoolToday.com to schedule. Carrier, turn to the experts.
The Chinese government lied about the coronavirus. China unleashed the Wuhan pandemic on the world, costing trillions, costing jobs, costing American lives. My name is Casey Asgar. This crisis proves President Trump is right. We must control our border, bring manufacturing back to America, and stop depending on China. I'm Casey Asgar, and I approve this message. China must pay. America must rebuild. Our survival depends on it.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I didn't see you standing there. Hi, how are you today? 239-479-5592. It's a Tuesday, which means it's a pre-Wednesday. It's a pre-hump day, as the kids like to say, which leads us into the pre-Jake Day Thursday, and everybody knows now Fridays are called Jake Day. We call Fridays Jake Day around here because Jake the Millennial could not live if he didn't know that there was a Friday around the corner, and it's really what he lives for, and so there you go. You've got Jake Day added on top of that, which we're not there yet, Jake, so don't get too excited. Not there yet.
We're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there. We're close. And then you know what this weekend is? Do you know what this weekend is?
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Well, look at you, like my baby boy's growing up. Isn't that nice? You're learning a little bit there, which is a good thing. So good for you. Are you excited about that? I hope a Jake Day, and then you put that together with a holiday weekend. Minds explode. It's mind blowing. Is it not?
Make steak tacos.
Going to make steak tacos, everybody. All right, so what are you going to do? What's your thoughts? Hey, listen, anytime you want to chime in on the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, it's 239-479-5592. Anytime you want to watch, we are streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, Steele. Look that up, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it. And, of course, we're still there out there on Facebook as well. So look for us. And, boy, there is a lot going on today. The meltdown of the left and the media because the president made an announcement yesterday that he is taking hydroxychloroquine. Did you hear about that, everybody? I mean, what? he's taking hydroxychloroquine. The president is everything okay? No, everything's fine. He looks at it as something that is a prophylactic, as something that doctors, frontline workers have been taking. Have they? That is interesting because we don't hear that enough, do we? About hydroxychloroquine, we hear that it's awful. You're not. Don't take that. That goes in the category with injecting Clorox. That's the other thing that the president likes to do. I wonder if it's the injection of Clorox that the president does that actually is the thing that's keeping him healthy. I mean, does anybody ask that question? Why not go there? Because you've gone everywhere else with this. And so the president was talking about hydroxychloroquine yesterday. Actually, he was talking about something else yesterday that is not being brought up in the conversation about hydroxychloroquine. But in case you missed it...
You'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it.
Yeah, okay, as a prophylactic, talking about hydroxychloroquine, right? And
the frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it. I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it.
And people are like, what? You're taking? Yeah, he's taking it. Now, automatically, what do you think the media is doing, everybody? Do you think when the media hears that the president of the United States is taking hydroxychloroquine, do you think their first reaction is he okay? Is he healthy? Is everything all right? Is there anything we should be worried about? I mean, we're concerned about your health, Mr. President. Or are they like, are you crazy? Why are you taking it? Everybody says you're not supposed to be taking it. Why are you actually taking it? Are you trying to prove a point? All right, stop taking it. You've proved your point, Mr. Which one do you think it is? I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Is that?
Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right. I'm not going to get hurt by it. It's been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, for other things. I take it. Frontline workers take it. A lot of doctors take it. Excuse me. A lot of doctors take it. I take it.
Yeah, can I stop for a second there and ask this question? If you are somebody who is a journalist and you are concerned about the president taking hydroxychloroquine and why he's taking it, and if he's trying to prove a point, if he's trying to hide something, maybe he's trying to say that this is something that he is doing because he's trying to hide a terrorist attack that took place in Pensacola, Florida, as Fredo from CNN is trying to make the case. No, I'm not kidding. He's making the case that the reason why the president brought it up is because he's trying to cover up for a terrorist attack. Really no, I'm not kidding. You'll hear that audio coming up. But wouldn't it make sense if you were a journalist, if the president says that a lot of people, a lot of frontline folks, the heroes that are out there that have been treating COVID patients, the ones that are that we all know about, the responders that have been on the front lines, if they are taking this, wouldn't you as a reporter maybe go out to try to find out if that's true? Maybe find out who's taking it, why they're taking it, and maybe ask some questions about that aspect. I'm just asking. I never hear anybody saying it, but okay.
No, I hope to not be able to take it soon because, I hope they come up with some answer. But I think people should be allowed to. I got a letter from a doctor the other day from Westchester, New York, around the area. He didn't want anything. He just said, sir, I have hundreds of patients, and I give them hydroxychloroquine. Yeah. I give them the Z-Pak, which is zithromycin, and I give them zinc. And out of the hundreds of patients, many hundreds, over 300 patients, I haven't lost one. He said, please keep pressing that, sir. And if you look at that phony report that was put in, that report on the hydroxy was given to people that were in extraordinarily bad condition.
Now, he's talking about the one from the VA, that report, giving it to patients there that were in extreme positions and saying how it didn't have effect. As a matter of fact, some of them died. Well, of course, they didn't get into the details as to their condition. All they wanted to know is that they took the hydroxychloroquine and it didn't cure them. As a matter of fact, they died. That's all. All right, we're good. That's what people are hearing. That's the concern that people have had. And the president is saying that there are people that are presenting evidence to them, doctors, not some guy who just decided that he was going to pop a couple of pills in his living room because he just happens to have hydroxy laying around. It's either that or the injection of Lysol, either one, which is really hard to do. You ever try to do it? Well, don't do. Valuable lesson, kids. I can't believe I have to say this. Don't do it. But you already know that because you have common sense and so do your parents. The president is saying, listen, here's from a doctor who has been administering hydroxychloroquine and zinc and the Z-Pack. And it has really been helping. And yet we're still having this conversation, this meltdown about hydroxychloroquine, the testing that was done in France, the testing that has been done by doctors like the president was talking about in New York. People are saying, well, hey, Drew, what happened to that big test that was happening in South Dakota? Remember the governor was like, you know what? We're going to do our own test. We're going to find out about hydroxychloroquine on our own. We're going to administer it, and we're going to give it to patients. You haven't heard a lot about that, right? People are like, you haven't heard a lot about that. Why? Because it turns out that they don't have enough. They don't have as many patients as they thought they were going to have in South Dakota. There weren't enough people to take. I think they wanted to get thousands, and they only had like 72 people that they could do this test with. Not enough to have something that they could do as a test to make a case study out of. And you should be happy about that there aren't enough cases in South Dakota for them to do a test on hydroxychloroquine. Are you not? But no, you can't do that. You can't be happy about that aspect. So there you go, the president and the left. And now what's the reaction? Because you don't think that the left was going to go crazy over this, that the media was going to go absolutely nuts. It wasn't something that he did on his own. His doctor was the one who administered this.
I give them hydroxychloroquine.
Okay, he's talking about the doctor, right?
Out of the hundreds of patients, many hundreds, over 300 patients, I haven't lost one. He said, please keep pressing that, sir.
Right.
Extraordinarily bad. People that were dying. No, I think for whatever it's worth, I take it. I would have told you that 3-4 days ago, but we never had a chance because you never asked me the question.
Are you White House doctor recommend that you take that? Is that why you're
Yeah, White House doctor. I didn't recommend. No, I asked him, what do you think? He said, well, if you'd like it. I said, yeah, I'd like it. I'd like to take it. A lot of people are taking it. A lot of frontline workers are taking hydroxychloroquine.
Okay, so there you go. So it wasn't like he started to do it himself. Let's hope that the narrative isn't out there, and I haven't checked the Twitterverse yet to find out if this is happening. But let's hope it's not a situation right now where the Twitterverse and you know all the keyboard cowboys that are out there are trying to go after the president of the United States on this and say, you see that he's doing things on his own. He's ordering the pills and he's bringing them in and he's taking it. No, not the case. Chris Cuomo is thinking that maybe this is all about a cover-up, is what it is. It's.
So our president wants to talk about how strong he is to take hydroxychloroquine because he just does everything he can to make himself strong, to make this country strong.
Well, he wants to be healthy, and he's not saying that he's strong because he's taking it. He believes that it's something that with consulting his doctor that it would be a good prophylactic, something to take ahead of anything that could possibly come. So why so dramatic? Oh, because it's Fredo, it's Chris Cuomo. You have to be dramatic, otherwise you couldn't be on CNN, could you?
And I hope doing whatever he does keeps him strong, science notwithstanding. But I know this much: I don't know that it'll help with his health, but it certainly helps to cover up his weaknesses.
Oh, what weaknesses are those?
Another day that most of the media wouldn't be pressing him about never dealing in any real way with how we reopen. And he bought a pass.
Okay, well, wait, let me stop there. Okay, so the narrative now is, how do we reopen? Remember, this is the critical point that I think you all know. If you're watching on YouTube right now, Drew Steele Radio, please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching and you all know this as I'm looking at you in the eyes, you know this better than anybody because you listen to this program and you listen to other programs on this station. You know when it comes to the media, when it comes to certain people in this country, dare I say the left in this country, they want to keep everything shut down. They want you to be terrorized. They want you to be scared. Terrorized by a virus is what I'm talking about. To be so afraid to even breathe in a public space that you will be dependent on a government to save you, a check from a government to save you, bureaucrats, politicians to save you, because if you're the left, that's your life. Can we just be honest for a second? If you're the left in this country, if you're somebody who believes in, you believe in Sleepy Joe?
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe's your guy. If you're thinking that it's all about whatever AOC says, she knows what she's talking about.
I'm not the expert.
Even though she might admit that she's not an expert, but that's not the point. She knows a whole lot. Bernie Sanders.
This is what you do.
Yeah, and Nancy Pelosi.
Bowl of doggy doo.
It might be two different doo-doos that we're talking about, but that's not the point. If you're the left and these are the people that you listen to and you follow, then to you, bigger government is better government. The more intrusive into your life the government is, the better off you are. The further away you can get from your own personal responsibility, from your liberties and your freedoms, from the questions that you may have about your personal health and well-being, where some may suggest that moving forward, that the government can drag you out of your house and drag you to a doctor if a vaccine comes out and forces you to take that vaccine. How about the state has a right to plunge a needle into your arm? Not my words. Alan Dershowitz, famous Harvard Law School emeritus professor, Alan Dershowitz, suggesting that, yes, the government can drag you and your children to the doctor and plunge a needle into your arm to take a vaccine. I'm not kidding. We're going to get to that story coming up. Do you not see? Do you not get that these are the same? This is your ideology. Your ideology is not a personal responsibility of providence, of a loving and living God. No, that your idea of being is that the government tells you what to do, that a bureaucracy would guide you in every direction, that they would clothe you and feed you and take care of you and nurture you because you can't do it on your own. And as you have Chris Cuomo, who is suggesting that the new narrative, of course, is...
You know this much. I don't know that it'll help with his health.
Yeah.
But it certainly helps to cover up his weaknesses.
Oh, yeah.
Another day that most of the media wouldn't be pressing him about never dealing in any real way with how we reopen.
That's what it is. It's about how we reopen. How do we do this? And according to the left and according to those who love Big Brother and big government, it's when they say so. Well, when did they say? Well, when we have a vaccine. How long will that be? Well, we got some good trials going on. Yeah, how long is it going to take to get to the masses? Oh, I don't know, maybe another year and a half. So we should just stay home for the next year and a half? Yeah, just stay home. We'll just keep sending checks. Nancy Pelosi's got this. She'll even sign the checks one day for you. That's all. We're going to get into a little more about what Chris Cuomo said and how the president was covering up for what the attorney general talked about yesterday, the Pensacola attacks, and how it was a terrorist attack, something that was mentioned back in January when this took place, and how others questioned whether or not that was even possible. But that's what we have. And that the president wants to talk about hydroxychloroquine to cover up for that. What kind of sense does that make? Plus, you also have Nancy Pelosi who decided to chime in on this. And wait till you hear how she's chiming in. Nancy Pelosi does not want the president of the United States to take hydroxychloroquine. She doesn't think that he should. And there's a reason that she believes this. And let's just say that when she says it, she's not being nice. I don't know. You'll hear the audio and you tell me. All right. So the meltdown of the left continues. Even though we have bigger issues going on right now with Mike Flynn and former administration, some of what they were doing against the president that we're going to talk about in depth today as well. All right. 239-479-5592. Text Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, Steele. You can put that in right now and subscribe to our channel, please. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Collier County at Arthrex Commerce Drive and Oil Well Road is slowing traffic east and west on Oil Well, guys, for about 1 mile. So an area to definitely avoid. Mockley Road is still up to speed if you want an alternate, as well as southbound slowdowns in Bonita on Imperial Parkway heading towards Bonita Beach Road. Corkscrew is up to speed, but taking a look at my traffic cams, lots of cars getting onto the highway from Corkscrew to head southbound. Combined with wet roadways, plan ahead. Just give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Off and on, scattered showers and storms in the forecast for today. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. 86 degrees and breezy at times. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street's blues gone for at least the day Monday. The Dow surging some 911 points. The S&P up 90, the Nasdaq up over 200. Biotech Moderna sparking that rally with a positive report about testing on a COVID-19 vaccine. And phony coronavirus products are making their way across U.S. borders.
Operation Stolen Promise, which is run by ICE's Homeland Security Investigations, has already led to more than 530 seizures of faulty, fake, and prohibited goods. An Associated Press investigation claims millions of masks, gowns, and other fake medical products are being used in the nation's hospitals and therefore putting health workers' lives at risk.
That's Fox's Jonathan Hunt. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
The big media is at war with President Trump. Now, Newsmax TV reveals the media's dangerous agenda. Watch Newsmax TV and see shows with Chris Salcedo, Sean Spicer, and Greg Kelly as they expose the fake news. Newsmax TV is America's fastest-growing cable channel on DirecTV, Xfinity, Dish, Spectrum, Optimum, Cox, Fios, Uverse, Suddenlink, Mediacom, Wow, Armstrong, CenturyLink, and more. Just check your channel guide. Everyone is talking about Newsmax TV, so watch it today.
One thing I've realized from being cooped up in my house the way we have all been is that I need window treatments really bad. That's why I go to my friends at Your Style Window Treatments and Decor. Their phone number is 239-471-5006. Now, why? Well, they're a veteran family-owned and operated business with multiple brands of blinds, shades, and shutters, and they have numerous fabric brands right there that you can see. And Your Style, of course, is you. They can take measurements and get you products for your home that fit your style. Installing products with an in-house team that is second to none, certified training. They are there from beginning to completion and providing work at any scale. From Marco Island, Sarasota, and LaBelle, listen, you want a design product? They can do that as well. Your Style Window Treatments and Decor. Give them a call today and find out more at 239-471-5006 or go to their website, yourstylewindowtreatments.com.
Here's to working people, the builders of things, the fixers of stuff, the movers and shapers of the land. You're good people. We just want to say thanks. Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work.
Northern Tool and Equipment is here to help. Our stores are open and cleaning around the clock. Contactless curbside pickup is available when you order on northerntool.com. Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
92.5 Fox News.
Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
The big three automakers are getting back to production, and they're anticipating demand with new designs and names for makes of cars, like the Chevy Quarantine. It parks itself. And lockdown brakes keep it from going anywhere. The Ford Fauci. It just keeps going and going. But when the engine starts sounding a little throaty, you might have to shut it down. The Chrysler Cuomo, available in blue. Also comes with a steering wheel that only goes left. Most models will come equipped with mask and glove dispensers and amazing payment plans like COVID-19 month, same as cash. And coming soon, The Dodge Murder Hornet. Big, strong, and dangerous. Available only in yellow and black. Some parts imported from Asia. Driving during a pandemic is going to be a lot more exciting.
All right, I don't know if that's exciting or not. I don't know, Jake the Millennial. Would you drive a car named the Murder Hornet? Would you be excited about that? The little Murder Hornet. It only comes in yellow and black. Would you be? What do you think?
I'll go ahead and pass on that.
You gotta pass. You pass on a Murder Hornet?
It only goes left.
Well, no. The Cuomo car only goes left. The Murder Hornet car could go any way you want it to go. So how about now? Is that better? So you don't want the okay. So we know you don't want the car that only goes left, the Cuomo car, but the Murder Hornet car sounds pretty.
More or less that it's black and yellow.
But think about it this way: it goes with your outfit. I'd see.
Go with my outfit every day.
It really could. Well, it's the black part, the yellow part. Do you wear anything that's yellow? Maybe it's a new style you can start. You could be like, wasn't there a Saturday Night Live skit a long time ago with Jim Belushi? Or John Belushi, that was he dressed up as a bumblebee, or wasn't there wasn't there a famous music video out in the days when VH1 or not VH1 MTV would play music videos? Remember those days? They don't exist anymore. You don't even know what MTV is.
I don't think I ever experienced music videos on MTV.
Yeah, there was a time when there was a famous video that with a guy dancing as a bumblebee. He probably wasn't a Murder Hornet or driving a Murder Hornet. Are we ready to go to break yet? Because I want to get out of this now. But this, are we done? Okay, let's go. All right, good. So what did we learn today? We learned that there may have been or may not have been a John Belushi skit with a bumblebee outfit on. There was a music video when MTV used to play music videos a long time ago. For those that don't know what MTV is, don't worry about it. It's not important. And I don't remember what that was or what band it was, but somebody might. And we also learned that when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Nancy Pelosi. You're going to like this coming up.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is essential to your life. Give our team a call at 844-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Hey, Southwest Florida. When disasters strike, whether fire, flood, or hurricane, and it's time to file an insurance claim, remember, the more details you provide, the faster and better your chances are of getting the claim paid. That's where Bonafide's AIP comes in. With a virtual tour, photos, and itemized list of your assets on a secure file, those details are always just a few clicks away. Don't wait till it's too late. Call Bonafide at 239-244-8086 or visit us on the web at bonafidemeasurements.com and schedule your AIP today.
Rock Solid knows you've sacrificed a lot during these difficult times, washing your hands often, social distancing, keeping your family and community safe. Please don't forget the virus and bacteria can remain on hard surfaces like your countertops. Rock Solid's experienced experts can deep clean, sanitize, and reseal your countertops, keeping your home or business truly safe. Book your Rock Solid Special Safety Service right now by calling 596-7676 or on the web at rocksolidnaples.com. Be safe and stay healthy.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
Good morning. This is Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A free walk-up coronavirus testing site opens today in Collier County. It's at North Collier Regional Park on Livingston Road today and tomorrow from 9 to 5. Lee Health is asking its employees to consider either voluntarily retiring early or take 4 to 6 weeks off to reduce labor costs. The reduction of surgeries could impact budgets for years to come. FGCU is working on a plan for students to take classes on campus in the fall. The Florida Board of Governors is asking all 12 state universities universities to develop a plan for a meeting on June 23rd. A family escaped a house fire caused by lightning in North Naples. Firefighters say that home is likely uninhabitable. Memorial Day weekend's right around the corner, and businesses are expecting a surge. The Sea Gypsy Inn on Fort Myers Beach says they're already fully booked. This morning, there's a new boss at Estero-based Hertz. Paul Stone was appointed CEO on Saturday. Before, he was Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Operations Officer of North America. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash in Collier County at Arthrex Commerce Drive and Oilwell Road is slowing traffic east and west on Oilwell, guys. We're at 1 mile, so an area to definitely avoid. Mockley Road is still up to speed if you want an alternate, as well as southbound slowdowns in Bonita on Imperial Parkway heading towards Bonita Beach Road. Corkscrew is up to speed, but taking a look at my traffic cams, lots of cars getting onto the highway from Corkscrew to head southbound. Combined with wet roadways, plan ahead. Just give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, pop-up, scattered showers and storms will be working their way through. Not an all-day rain event, kind of off and on, hit or miss, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, breezy at times. Few isolated showers possible Wednesday. And then hot, humid with daily chances for primarily afternoon and evening, spotty showers and storms for Friday and all the way towards the holiday weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Hi, my name is Bob from Lehigh, and I listen to Drew Steele every morning, and I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers is open, and we're here to help. Over 400 vehicles in stock. New 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease. 0 down. $149 per month. That's right. A new Kia for $149 per month with 0 down. Plus at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, you can drive payment-free for 4 months, interest-free for up to 75 months, and worry-free for 100,000 miles. Plus prepaid gas for up to a year. Our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. New Kias, 0 down, $149 per month at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 0 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, doc, and dealer fee. 0 security deposit, $13.33 per month per thousand, borrowed for 75 months at 0 APR with 0 down.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor. The Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Is your pool a pain to operate? Automation is the answer. Use your phone to turn on your spa, and it'll be warm when you get home. Free on-site evaluations. We're a family company. And for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133.
State certified CPC 057088.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I want to talk to you about my good friends at AMCO of Bonita Springs. You know, they're open. They are ready to handle any repairs or maintenance that you have for your car or truck, especially during these times. And look, they're taking precautions that they have to take to stay open at this point and to continue to earn a living for all of the team who depend on their paychecks for their families. They've adjusted their hours Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and they're encouraging you to drop off your vehicle. They know you've been through a lot together, and AMCO of Bonita Springs, I want you to remember, they opened the shop in 2008. That was during the recession then, and now 12 years later, dealing with this again and these struggles brought on by the virus. So if you're in need of auto or truck repair, then you know where to go. It's AMCO of Bonita Springs. Kevin and his brother Todd have been side by side at AMCO Bonita Springs since 2008. Together, we're all going to get through these difficult times. So give them a call. They're located on Burnwood Drive in Bonita, 992-2626. That's 992-2626. Will you give them a call today? AMCO of Bonita Springs.
At Mr. Sparky, our community is our top priority. As you spend more time at home, you may notice electrical problems that you have been putting off. Please don't DIY. Instead, give our team of professional electricians a call. We are open and ready to serve you. Call us today at 888-8-SPARKY.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. My friends Chad and Daniel at Jackson Pools, they are the best. Look, you know what's happening right now. They can close down the beaches, but they cannot shut down your beautiful resort-style pool from Jackson Pools. It's more important than ever to enjoy the healthy benefits of exercise and relaxation that you're going to get with your new Jackson Pool right now in your own backyard, featuring an elegant high-water design, a state-of-the-art recirculation system, custom coping, and a pebble interior finish. And you can have it all for under $35,000. And the truly amazing part is you can be swimming in less than 3 weeks from permitting. So I need to say that again. Look, if a pool is in your future, you've got to talk to my good friends at Jackson Pools. Sit on this doorstep on another hot and sweaty Southwest Florida summer? Well, no, because now is the perfect time to take the plunge. Contact Jackson Pools. Visit them now online at jacksonpools.com. Find out more. jacksonpools.com.
I'm Bob Grace, founder of Grace Tax Advisory Group. Every week we have educational events at top restaurants designed to help you get retirement ready. We talk about some of the biggest concerns facing retirees today. Will you have enough income to maintain your lifestyle? Are you paying more in taxes than you have to? How to get the most out of your Social Security benefits? What's the best way to pay for health care, long-term care, and much more? Our team at Grace Tax Advisory Group, wealth managers, CPAs, and attorneys actually talk to each other when designing your custom plan. So when we are done, you have a comprehensive, customized, written retirement plan. To attend one of our educational events or set up a visit with the Grace Tax Advisory team, call or text the word VISIT to 866-366-1099. That's VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 866-366-1099.
Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
True relief for back and neck pain.
During these challenging times, Johnson Spinal Care at 596 Back is still here to help people who are dealing with pain or weakness from back or neck conditions like stenosis, sciatica, arthritis, or pinched nerves. We are doing our best to continue to help people who are suffering using non-surgical spinal decompression therapy. We have redoubled our sterilization efforts to help keep you safe. Everything is thoroughly wiped down between every patient. You can trust that at Johnson Spinal Care we are taking every precaution, so please don't hesitate to seek spinal decompression for relief from your back or neck pain. Painless, comfortable, and safe. Avoid spinal injections or surgery. Don't suffer thinking you can't get any care for your condition. Helping Southwest Florida for over 12 years, we are just a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office for a telephone consultation to learn more about spinal decompression. 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
In the first 1 to 2 weeks after we closed to the public, some of the larger animals in there really started actually showing different behaviour. A lot of people don't realise the animals can actually see outside of the tank and see the people outside as well. Just like us looking at them, they can also look out and look at us as well.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. That was officials there, an official at an aquarium in Australia. You ready, Jake? Here we go. Just in case you were wondering, the fish are lonely. According to the aquarium, some fish have been showing signs of depression during the lockdown, possibly because they're lonely and they haven't been able to watch people through the glass. Would you care to comment on fish that watch people through the glass and depressed fish?
Yeah, we're one of the most entertaining creatures known to ever exist.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you think that it's true, and the reason and the thing is that the fish are looking at us and going, "Come on, dance. Let's go. Come on, little kid, dance in front of me so I can watch you." So they're looking at the animals are observing us, and they think we're crazy. And now that we're not around to dance and make them laugh, that now it's causing depression. How do you figure out whether or not a fish is depressed? Like, what are the signs? What do you do? What do you say to a fish if you're somebody who works in an aquarium? What do you say to a fish to find out whether or not they are depressed?
I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the bubbles.
It's a bubble thing. All right, there you go. You can see Jake as well on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and right there you can You can watch us streaming live each and every day on YouTube, and please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. So there you go. The fish are showing signs of depression. Nancy Pelosi is saying that the president is showing signs of being morbidly obese. No, I'm not kidding. Nancy Pelosi on CNN yesterday with Anderson Cooper, when asked about the shock, the surprise that the president of the United States claiming that he has been taking hydroxychloroquine. That's right. He's taking it under doctor's orders. He's not doing it himself, and he's doing it as a prophylactic. He wants to make sure, with the people that around him, and obviously the contact that the president has with individuals all the time, that it would make sense that if you could use something as a prophylactic and something that he could use that he believes and doctors believe and many people do believe has benefit when it comes to a coronavirus. The president using it and the left is melting down. And so you've got to ask Nancy Pelosi what she thinks, right? And what does she think about the president using hydroxychloroquine?
As far as the president is concerned, he's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese, they say.
So Nancy Pelosi says, yeah, she doesn't want, his weight group, the morbidly obese. We certainly don't want morbidly obese people to take hydroxychloroquine because, Nancy Pelosi's a scientist. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right. What else do we have? We have a lot of people that are texting 239-479-5592. Blind Melon. And actually, my wife texted me and said, Blind Melon, No More Rain is the song. My wife, of all people, who decided to text. How in the world my wife, Jake, has any clue? Oh, you're watching the actual video? Yeah, all right. So it's like, all I can say is that my life is finished. Yeah, we're going to get caught now for copyright infringement going on because I sing too good. It was just too close to the original. And you have Bob in North Jersey who said John Belushi was the killer bee. Did this killer bee skit. I don't know what the skit was on SNL. I just know that I remember when you would see promos of the original Saturday Night Live, you'd see John Belushi in a bee outfit, and I don't know the context. It was just him and a bee. And Nancy Pelosi says that it's the president's morbidly obese and he shouldn't be taking hydroxychloroquine. We wouldn't want to see anything happening to the president. And it's the left in this country that are so polite and kind, right? It's always the conservatives, the Republicans. We're the mean ones. The people on the right are always the mean, nasty ones. The left is always so kind and considerate. I can't even say that with a straight face. That's so funny. 239-479-5592. There's a lot of news, not just about the president and the hydroxychloroquine news, that he says that he's been taking it along with zinc. But there's also been some news, Wall Street Journal, talking about Moderna, this company that is creating this corona vaccine. There's hope. The biotech firm says phase 1 trials show promising results. Stock and oil prices climb because of this. The idea that we might possibly have a vaccine soon is starting to make stocks take notice because, you see that there would be an economy that start to kick up. That would be nice. Governments are starting to lift their lockdowns, but Americans and the rest of the world will need an effective vaccine and maybe several for a return to pre-virus normality. And they're talking about Moderna's mRNA vaccine gives cells a building manual to produce a particle that blah, 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 blah. It's too technical. I mean, I don't. You might understand that. I'm reading it and my eyes are glazing over. The goal is to induce an antibody response similar to the actual virus because the vaccine doesn't utilize a pathogen. Okay. First phase of the clinical trial examining whether the vaccine is safe and causes an immune response began in mid-March. They had 45 healthy volunteers of varying doses. It shows some promise. It's going to take a little while to get it up to market. Historically, only 16% of vaccines that begin clinical trials have been approved. 16%, everybody. That means if I do the math correctly, 84% get tossed in the trash or wherever you put vaccine stuff. More than 100 vaccines are in development worldwide. The Gates Foundation and the National Institutes of Health are investing heavily to accelerate those like Moderna's with the most scientific potential based on early evidence. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal. And I'm just making the suggestion that, when people hear the Gates Foundation making heavy investments, when they hear the NIH making heavy investments, all of a sudden, the conspiracy theories start to fly like, what do they know? And how soon will they know it? And how soon could they profit from it? And, hey, what about that? And you might even suggest that there could be some people that would be hacking into the systems of the Gates Foundation and National Institutes of Health to try to find that information before anybody does, so that maybe they could be the ones to produce it and hold the patent to it and basically hold the world hostage. I don't know who would do anything like that. I mean, it would be crazy to even make that suggestion. I'm not saying that there's anybody out there necessarily right now that's doing it, but, you kind of keep your eye on people.
China!
So anyway, as these trials ramp up, I would ask these two questions of you. And if you would like to text 239-479-5592 and answer, maybe you want to comment on our YouTube channel. We can throw the comments up on the screen to see what you think. Just go to YouTube, type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, Steele. And make sure you subscribe while you're there. And I asked this question, and Jake, I might even start with you. You ready for the two questions? I'm starting with you, buddy.
Let's go.
All right. So the first question would be, if a vaccine does come out, let's say within the next 6 to 8 months, let's say...
Not enough time.
There's my first question. You're the first on board. And then the second question is, here at FloridaPolitics.com, there's a poll. Floridians will keep wearing masks, holding off on dining. Florida's now in full phase 1 of its reopening, but voters aren't rushing out to grab a table at their favorite restaurant. It's a St. Pete poll. And you can imagine if it's a St. Pete poll, it was probably done near St. Pete or Tampa, where there's a lot of libs. 2/3 are saying, I'm not going out to eat anytime soon, even though the governor is ramping up to the 50% point on restaurants, and it's split politically. I'm not kidding. Democrats and Republicans. Democrats are like, I'm not going anywhere. And Republicans are like, listen, I'll go. How about you? Let's say this weekend, you still want to get out. Are you going to wear masks, Jake? And holding off on dining. First, masks.
No.
You ready? You're done with the masks? How about dining out? How you feeling about that?
I mean, I would do it, but I'm not spending money on food right now unless I'm buying it and cooking it myself.
Okay. Is there a reason? Is it just because it's better for you because you know the nutritional value of the foods that you're cooking and you know your body's needs, and so you're looking to make some wholesome choices? I can't even say that with a straight face because that's not it.
No, it's definitely
not it. Okay. So Republicans are like, listen, we're going to go out to restaurants. And it's like 56% say that they want to go out to restaurants and dine out. Democrats are saying 1 in 6 said they plan to eat at a restaurant soon. Like, how do you ever ask that question? How do you possibly split this up politically? Like, if you're claiming that we should all be on the same page with this virus, that we should all be understanding that we're in this together and we should be attacking this together, this virus, and the virus doesn't know anything about politics, and neither should we. Then how do you break this up unless it is about politics, unless people are starting to realize now that it is about politics? Somebody texted, if Democrats stay home and don't go to restaurants, Republicans don't have to wait in line. Let's support our local restaurants. You got that right. Right? I mean, doesn't that seem logical to people? It just seems like if there's anything in the world that you wouldn't want to make about politics, it would be this. So I ask, are you ready to wear masks? You ready to get out there or not wear a mask? What are you thinking about it when it comes to masks? Have you changed your mind about that and about going to restaurants? I mean, it's out there. It's just something that people are talking about. So I thought I would ask you and see what you think. 239-479-5592. There is the phone number and the text line. Also, we are streaming live YouTube. Anytime you want to join in the conversation, just go to YouTube, type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and you can subscribe right there. Hold on a second. Is this Carl from Bushwood?
Well, what are you doing there, Drew? Long time no talky poo, you know?
Yeah, well, there is that poo part. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You know, I wanted to tell you, just like everybody else, about Blind Melon. I loved them back in the day. I saw them in concert when they first started. You know, they opened up for the hard of hearing cucumbers, you know. And I just wanted to call in and tell everybody, you know, we love them, and get on out and play a little small ball. You know, they still can do it, and you got a bag of 14 separation sticks to help you out. You know?
Yeah, but you don't even need 14, right? You just need like a handful, don't you?
Well, one or two. You know, and my favorite club in the bag, of course, is my foot wedge. I'm always guaranteed a good lie, other than the dog ate my homework or I love Nancy Pelosi. You can choose.
Oh, it's very nice. Any kind of tips as we head through the week, and it's getting a little damp. It's getting a little damp out there, Carl.
Get on out and spend some money, everybody. Go play golf, go to a restaurant, and by God, tip 50% or more.
There you go. Good advice. All right, Carl, we got to run.
Keep it in the short grass, my friend.
We do each and every day. All right. It's enough of that. All right, let's go to break. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. A little golf lesson there. Carl from Bushwood. You can't go wrong with Carl, especially if you're chasing gophers or golfers. Don't get me wrong, Scotty, but if we kill all the golfers on the course, won't they lock us up and throw away the key? You may understand the reference, you may not. It's a Caddyshack thing. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Let's find out what's happening with Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Collier County at Arthrex Commerce Drive and Oilwell Road is slowing traffic east and west on Oilwell, guys, for about 1 mile. So an area to definitely avoid. Mockley Road is still up to speed if you want an alternate, as well as southbound slowdowns in Bonita on Imperial Parkway heading towards Bonita Beach Road. Corkscrew is up to speed, but taking a look at my traffic cams, lots of cars getting onto the highway from Corkscrew to head southbound. Combined with wet roadways, plan ahead. Just give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Off and on, scattered showers and storms in the forecast for today. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. 86 degrees and breezy at times. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, according to Roll Call, a network of nonprofit organizations, local governments, and advocacy groups join forces to make sure the Census Bureau does a thorough job this year when it comes to counting illegal immigrants. And there's a simple reason this liberal network came together for the census. It's about money. Trillions of federal dollars flow into states and cities based on the number of people who can claim that they're in need. Liberals in blue states and blue cities depend on illegal immigrants to keep that money flowing. But the liberal network is afraid. Roll Call says that they fear the Trump administration is going to send ICE agents to raid community events where the Census Bureau is participating. The Liberal Protection Network worries that if ICE conducts raids in communities with lots of illegals, that would destroy months and months of outreach. Illegal immigrants might not want to risk coming forward to be counted, you see, especially if the drive-by media makes a big deal out of the immigration raids. So here's what the liberal network wants. You Trump people, you ICE agents, no immigration raids during the census. And you drive-by media types, if there are ICE immigration raids, don't cover them and don't report them, because every illegal must be counted, because someday They're going to vote. Hopefully Democrat, they think. There are some people who like to do their homework on everything. If they're worried about identity theft, they might monitor their credit. But in doing so, they might miss something. Data breaches happen more often these days, and if your personal information is included, like your name, your social security number, criminals can commit identity theft. LifeLock sees more evidence of identity theft daily, like someone taking out a payday loan in your name, for instance, or a rapid number of online purchases. LifeLock alerts you to possible suspicious activity, and if you end up having an identity theft issue, they have a dedicated identity restoration specialist just a phone call away. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft, but with more data breaches, it makes sense to be prepared. Join LifeLock today. Save up to 25% off your first year. Just go to LifeLock.com and use the promo code RUSH. That's my name. That's LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH, and you'll save 25%.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. You can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. You can try a full 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. Call 1-800-424-7115. 1-800-424-7115. 1-800-424-7115.
Now imagine an addition on that addition. Whoa. That's the feeling with Capital One, where a new savings account earns an interest rate 5 times the national average. That's right, 5 times, as represented by 5 times more singers. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Rate comparison based on FDIC national rate. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. I've been repairing and replacing roofs for 27 years. We operate with integrity, knowledge, and service. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
In times like these, when we don't know what tomorrow brings, the work we do at Morgan & Morgan becomes even more important. Our technology, remote resources, and diversified team are battle-tested and ready to represent you from the comfort of your home, wherever you are, whenever you need. We are here for you. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Made Pro of Southwest Florida. Professional cleaning with a personal touch.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
Good morning. This is Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A free walk-up coronavirus testing site opens today in Collier County. It's at North Collier Regional Park on Livingston Road today and tomorrow from 9 to 5. Lee Health is asking its employees to consider either voluntarily retiring early or take 4 to 6 weeks off to reduce labor costs. The reduction of surgeries could impact budgets for years to come. FGCU is working on a plan for students to take classes on campus in the fall. The Florida Board of Governors is asking all 12 state universities to develop a plan for a meeting on June 23rd. A family escaped a house fire caused by lightning in North Naples. Firefighters say that home is likely uninhabitable. Memorial Day weekend's right around the corner, and businesses are expecting a surge. The Sea Gypsy Inn on Fort Myers Beach says they're already fully booked. This morning, there's a new boss at Estero-based Hertz. Paul Stone was appointed CEO on Saturday. Before, he was Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Operations Officer of North America. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash in Collier County at Arthrex Commerce Drive and Oilwell Road is slowing traffic east and west on Oilwell, guys, for about 1 mile. So an area to definitely avoid. Mockley Road is still up to speed if you want an alternate, as well as southbound slowdowns in Bonita on Imperial Parkway heading towards Bonita Beach Road. Corkscrew is up to speed, but taking a look at my traffic cams, lots of cars getting onto the highway from Corkscrew to head southbound. Combined with wet roadways, plan ahead. Just give yourself lots of extra time. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, pop-up, scattered showers and storms will be working their way through. Not an all-day rain event, kind of off and on, hit or miss, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, breezy at times. Few isolated showers possible Wednesday. And then hot, humid with daily chances for primarily afternoon and evening, spotty showers and storms for Friday and all the way towards the holiday weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
My name is State Representative Spencer Roach, and I listen to Drew Steele in the morning. And I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I want to talk to you about my good friends at AMCO of Bonita Springs. You know, they're open. They are ready to handle any repairs or maintenance that you have for your car or truck, especially during these times. And look, they're taking precautions that they have to take to stay open at this point and to continue to earn a living for all of the team who depend on their paychecks for their families. They've adjusted their hours Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and they're encouraging you to drop off your vehicle. They know you've been through a lot together. At AMCO of Bonita Springs, I want you to remember, they opened the shop in 2008. That was during the recession then. And now, 12 years later, dealing with this again and these struggles brought on by the virus. So if you're in need of auto or truck repair, then you know where to go. It's AMCO of Bonita Springs. Kevin and his brother Todd have been side by side at AMCO of Bonita Springs since 2008 together. We're all going to get through these difficult times. So give them a call. They're located on Burnwood Drive in Bonita, 992-2626. That's 992-2626. Will you give them a call today? AMCO of Bonita Springs.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is essential to your life. Give our team a call at 844-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Hey guys, Dr. Amy here, your favorite chiropractor. We're back for your daily dose of Did You Know Chiropractic can help with that. And today we are talking about shoulder pain, either numbness and tingling into your shoulder, dull, achy pain into your shoulder. And the reason why I want to talk about that today is because a lot of people have switched from working in their office to working from home. And possibly your home setup is not nearly as great as your office setup. And maybe you have started experiencing numbness or tingling into your shoulder, achiness in your shoulder, and a lot of times that comes from a problem in actually your neck. We know that people who sit for work have a propensity to actually lose the curve in their neck from the side. When that happens, it puts pressure on the nerves. Those nerves go to your shoulder. You start to get numbness and tingling there. You start to get achiness. And I just want you to know that chiropractic can help. If you have questions, call us at 239-628-4899. And always remember, your power is on.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're joining us today. Thank you so much for making this program a part of your day. 239-479-5592. That's the phone number and the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Just go to Drew Steele Radio on YouTube. Steele with 3 E's, Steele. And please subscribe to the channel. And you can watch this on your big screen TV or your little screen, whatever you would like. And also, of course, on Facebook at 925 Fox News anytime you want to go to our Facebook page as well. Jake has been working heavy in the back end of the production, getting things together and getting all this stuff working so he can get out and visit with friends and family this weekend. It's hard to believe it's a holiday weekend. Every day is the same day. And so I might even ask the quick question. Let's get Jake on this fast. Jake, your test for today. Here we go. Jake, what day is it?
Tuesday.
That is correct, everybody. Today is Tuesday, just in case you were wondering. So Jake helping us out with that. We appreciate that, Jake. Good job. Keep it up.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for, to remember what day of the week it is.
I just look on the computer.
You just look on the computer. All right. Look, at least he's honest. How many of you would have done that? How many of you would have admitted that you lied right to my face? How many of you, Jake?
Probably no one.
Wasn't very nice. You didn't really have to say anything. All right. Matt Whittaker is going to join us coming up at 8 o'clock. Matt Whittaker is the former acting attorney general of the United States of America. He's got a brand new book out that we're going to talk about. And oh boy, how about some of what has been happening with the latest, with Mike Flynn, the latest information that we have on Obamagate, the latest information and what has been discussed by the Attorney General of this great country, Bill Barr, in just the past 12 hours or so, as Attorney General Barr had a lot to say about some of the actions taken by the Obama-era officials that I want to get to. First, he was talking about the importance of the integrity of elections moving forward and how he knows and everybody knows and you should know that, yeah, some dirty deeds were done in the 2016 election.
We live in a very divided country right now, and I think that it is critical that we have an election where the American people are allowed to make a decision, a choice, between President Trump and Vice President Biden based on a robust debate of policy issues.
Which it should be. Which we always felt like in the past it always was that way. And, you know, there are some that could make the case that maybe not always, maybe there were some issues that have come up in prior elections that people had questions about. But there's no doubt what we've been through with the 2016 election. And Attorney General Barr says...
And we cannot allow this process to be hijacked by efforts to drum up criminal investigations of either candidate. And I'm committed that this election will be conducted without this kind of interference. Any effort to pursue an investigation of either candidate has to be approved by me.
Yep. So one of the things that I noticed right away that the Attorney General says that people don't focus on enough, even when the president says it, is he's talking about the election and he's talking about this never happening ever again when it comes to anybody, everybody. Anybody, everybody. Anybody. Meaning Democrat or Republican. Democrat or Republican. What happened to the president of the United States in the 2016 election should never happen ever again to anybody. And what about that, Attorney General Barr?
Now, what happened to the president, and I've said this many times, what happened to the president in the 2016 election and throughout the first 2 years of his administration was abhorrent. It was a grave injustice, and it was unprecedented in American history.
Can we just stop there for a second? What happened to the president, and he said this many times, what happened to the president in the 2016 election and throughout the first 2 years of his administration was abhorrent. Grave injustice, and it was unprecedented in American history. Anybody want to debate whether or not those are strong words? If you're the Attorney General of the United States, do you use that kind of language, just flippant, just, I'll just say this for no reason. It's just my gut. Or do you say this because you have the evidence and you've been going over the evidence that would prove, that would show that what you're about to say is true?
The law enforcement and intelligence apparatus of this country were involved in advancing a false and utterly baseless Russian collusion narrative against the president. The proper investigative and prosecutive standards of the Department of Justice were abused, in my view, in order to reach a particular result.
That is a big deal, everybody, when the Attorney General is talking this way. Why? Because he knows there's a Durham investigation that is taking place. He understands what is coming. Did he say anything about that? Hold on.
One that applied to President Trump and his associates, and the other that applied to everybody else. We can't allow this ever to happen again. The Durham investigation is trying to get to the bottom of what happened, and it will determine whether there were any federal laws broken, and if there were, those who broke the laws will be held to account.
And that's part of what we are going to talk to Matt Whittaker about, the former acting Attorney General of the United States, Matt Whittaker, who is someone that I would like to get an answer there as well. With that, in his book Above the Law, which is his new book that we're going to touch on, that's a pretty important part of this, is it not? Is the fact that who is above the law? Why is it that we would have an investigation with many, many different parts, but more of those parts are being opened up and we're starting to see some of what went down, whether it was criminal or not? We're going to get into a National Review story. It was was it today or yesterday? Andrew McCarthy had the story from yesterday. Barr's remarks on Obama and Biden make an important point, and whether or not there is something, if there is criminality or not, we'll get to that in a second, as he was discussing in this article. But for everybody who's watching and listening right now, if you're watching on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Drew Steele, Steele, and please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Or whether or not you're listening right now, it's one focus, and I can see them already, the texts popping up as well. Bob, there's no excuse to ignore criminality. None. People talking about that they want to see justice. That in this Durham investigation, the outcome has to be about the grave injustice that has been recognized, that the Attorney General mentions, and then on the other side, that people would be held accountable. Because if we don't see accountability, then we feel as if this is just going to happen again. That time will pass, circumstances will come up, whether it's a virus or an impeachment or it's China. Who knows what it could be? And all of a sudden, you're looking at the shiny object and you're not paying attention to what is happening, and things just kind of go away. And that's what people are starting to feel. This article in National Review, as Andy McCarthy is talking about the comments being made by the Attorney General. And again, when Matt Whittaker is on, the former acting Attorney General, I would ask about this as well. You know, the comments now about whether or not as the Attorney General mentioned, and trying to see if that audio is not in here, but the comments being made by the Attorney General that he anticipates that there would be no criminal charges against the former president or the vice president has people believing that, well, then what are we going to do here? If the former administration, if Barack Obama, and we can put the pieces together to make a case that, for example, it was Barack Obama, like we mentioned yesterday, that is the one who ordered that the FBI would listen in on the Kislyak phone call to find Mike Flynn in a conversation with Kislyak, knowing full well that Michael Flynn was going to be speaking to Kislyak, his counterpart in Russia, full well that the conversation was going to be had because Obama expelled the Russians from this country, knowing full well that the discussion would be about sanctions. Full well that if you were to try to call phone calls from a Russian diplomat and you knew that Mike Flynn was in the Dominican Republic at the time, December 28th, and the date of this phone call, that it's really easy to find this conversation without having to be caught up in some kind of masking, unmasking situation by the FBI. All you would have to do if you were Barack Obama is order that the conversation between the Russian counterpart, the Russian Kislyak, who was going to be surveilled anyway, because you always surveil Russians and phone calls and diplomats. It happens all the time. They do it to us. We do it to them. That is known. So you know that a conversation is going to be had with Mike Flynn in the Dominican Republic. All you have to do is find the one phone call between the two. It seems almost like it was, dare I say, set up that way. Where how easy would it be to say, find the Mike Flynn phone call? How do we find it? Well, it's easy. All you have to do is find the one conversation that's happening with a Russian diplomat to the Dominican Republic. How many calls could he possibly be making to the Dominican Republic? It's not exactly a bastion of conversation between diplomats. That is a theory that has been out there and has been put together more and more each and every day, that it was almost a framing, a setup. And did the former president of the United States, who had the ability to make the directive directly to do that, is that what went down? And if that is the case, everybody, then when Attorney General Barr says, I don't see any criminal charges going against the former president or the vice president, well, it's Andy McCarthy in this National Review article that's saying he believes that there's plenty to see and be outraged about. It may not be criminal, as he put it today, the grave injustice, the parts that he was discussing. We can't allow this to happen again. The audio you just heard. He was insistent in his confirmation hearing testimony that, and ever since, that his top priority was to get the politics out of the Justice Department and the Justice Department out of politics. And he reaffirmed that today in the audio that I played prior, which was about the integrity of the election. And we were not going to have the criminal justice system used for partisan political ends. And now people are saying, well, there's got to be a rift, right? Because the president wants the vice president and the president held accountable if what I am saying is true. And the attorney general is saying, well, look, criminal charges, I don't see that happening. But Andy McCarthy is saying, listen, no, he's looking at this and saying, we have to find the criminality. And if there is proof beyond a reasonable doubt that public officials committed statutory crimes, then those officials should be prosecuted. And the AG committed today that in those circumstances, those who broke the law will be held accountable. So you're going to have almost the perfect case made to have anybody prosecuted. But that's not what you want to hear. That's not what I want to hear. That's not what Jake wants to hear. Jake just wants to hear Blind Melon, No Rain in his ear. That's all he wants to hear because he dreams of bumblebees or murder hornets. I wonder if that's what that was. Was Blind Melon, No Rain the song in the video ahead of its time because it actually predicted murder hornets? I mean, who's to say that that wasn't a murder hornet?
Speechless.
Something to think about. Or not. Anyway. The point is that when Matt Whittaker comes on at 8 o'clock, and he was the former acting attorney general, I'd love to ask him about this and whether or not this feels like it's a rift. Is it actually, or is it, as Andy McCarthy has mentioned, that it's more about you got to cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure that everything is right. And if it is, and if there's clear proof beyond a reasonable doubt, then there will be prosecutions. 239-479-5592, streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/925 News, and of course on YouTube at our YouTube channel. That is Drew Steele Radio, Steele, Steele, 3 E's, and please subscribe. We appreciate that. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash in Collier County at Arthrex Commerce Drive and Oilwell Road is slowing traffic east and west on Oilwell, guys, for about 1 mile. So an area to definitely avoid. Mockley Road is still up to speed if you want an alternate, as well as southbound slowdowns in Bonita on Imperial Parkway heading towards Bonita Beach Road. Corkscrew is up to speed, but taking a look at my traffic cams, lots of cars getting onto the highway from Corkscrew to head southbound. Combined with wet roadways, plan ahead. Just give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Off and on, scattered showers and storms in the forecast for today. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. 86 degrees and breezy at times. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
And bottom of the hour.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. We're excited to be open. The staff at Stevie's is here for you and will continue to serve you while putting your health and safety first. We invite you to enjoy a meal in our dining room with a limited menu and seating, or order from our to-go menu on StevieTomato.com for takeout, curbside pickup, or delivered through Bite Squad. Choose from the favorites you love, like our award-winning Chicago-style pizza, juicy chicken wings, fall-off-the-bone rack of ribs, gourmet burgers, and more. We're on our way to a brighter tomorrow together, and this great country will prevail. And as you know, Stevie's is committed to your complete satisfaction of our food, service, and value. We're proud to have you as our great customers, and we'll look forward to seeing your smiling faces, eating, drinking, and laughing with us at one of our Stevie Tomatoes locations in Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and on Bite Squad. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Hello, Southwest Florida. This is Barry Connor and Craig Gaskins reaching out to say thank you to all the dedicated healthcare professionals, police officers, firefighters, EMS, and all the other essential workers currently sacrificing their health and time away from their friends and family to keep our community strong. Though we aren't able to contribute in the same powerful ways as these individuals are aiding our community, here at CGU, we are dedicated to building a stronger and more united tomorrow.
We believe that with the power of community, we can make America stronger than ever before. Let's stop working towards getting back to a normal, and let's focus on building an even better than normal tomorrow. Connor and Gaskins Unlimited knows we're all in this together, and we are ready to help. Check us out on the web at www.cgunlimited.com.
Stay strong,
stay healthy,
and God bless the USA.
These are challenging times we're all living through. It's reasonable to expect stock market swings will remain higher than normal while we wait for global health to improve and businesses to get back in full swing. This will pass, but in the meantime, the purpose of the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company and its division, the Naples Trust Company, become ever clearer. We are here to serve as a partner in the strength of your wealth management, apply our expertise on your behalf, provide focused, thoughtful advice, and demonstrate a steadfast investment discipline to see you through the years, no matter what comes our way. Our investment team plans ahead for uncomfortable times, so your wealth management strategy stays intact. If you are not already a member of the Trust Company family, we invite you to discover the difference. Contact us at sancaptrustco.com. sancaptrustco.com.
Not FDIC insured. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
92.5 Fox News.
Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Cover 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm in Monkey Bar and I'm being told I'm trespassed because somebody observed me not obeying the law that they're not agreeing to under OSHA and under every other explicable...
What are you even talking about, OSHA? They're not letting you in because you're drunk.
There's a 32-year-old woman who got drunk at a bar in, what part of Florida was this? I hate to say it was Florida, but it was Florida, everybody. It was in Brevard County. It was in Melbourne. And she went to go to a bar, and she was trying to kiss random people as she's drunk. So they kicked her out. She calls 911 5 times to report the place for not following social distancing rules. And as she called, she's talking about OSHA rules and explicity or whatever, however she described it. And the 911 operator is like, yeah, you're drunk. Oh, explicity. Like, what in the world are you talking about? So a valuable lesson, Jake, for you and all your millennial friends, just to let you all know this is important. Don't kiss random people at bars, kids. Don't do it. And especially for you millennials out there, don't do that. Especially in this world of Rona.
Right? Exactly.
I was going to say, of all the times to not do it, and it had to be Florida, right? It couldn't have been any other state that this was happening, but there you go. That's what we have. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some of the things that are happening here in the state of Florida, including a couple of new polls. Floridians will keep wearing masks, hold off on dining. So they're going to wear masks, not going to go out and dine. And some other polls that I might ask you because they're not asking me. Has anybody been polled? Anybody in this audience ever been polled by one of these pollsters who want to know about these polls? All right, we'll get to that and what is happening here in the state coming up.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
I'm attorney Matt Morgan. During these uncertain and trying times, it's important you know our team is working overtime and we are here and fully enabled to fight for you. With video conferencing and a digital sign-up process, our firm is able to electronically sign your case up from the comfort of your home, no office visit necessary. We will get through this together and we are here for you. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Attention Florida HVAC technicians. I want you to take a look down at your uniform. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, I have some very bad news. You're working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course we offer top wages, top benefits, and top perks, but it's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring HVAC technicians.
I'm Lois Tomey from Wink News. They have been there from the beginning.
We're going to be here as long as we need to be here.
And they haven't backed down yet. With smiles behind their masks and passion in their eyes, they are our first line of defense so that we can live our best normal.
Reporting live for Wink News.
Wink News will stay out front to say thank you to our frontline champions. You are what makes us Gulf Shore strong.
Here's to working people, the builders of things, the fixers of stuff, the movers and shapers of the land. You're good people. We just want to say thanks. Northern Tool and Equipment, quality tools for serious work.
Northern Tool and Equipment is here to help. Our stores are open and cleaning around the clock. Contactless curbside pickup is available when you order on northerntool.com. Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
Good morning. This is Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A free walk-up coronavirus testing site opens today in Collier County. It's at North Collier Regional Park on Livingston Road today and tomorrow from 9 to 5. Lee Health is asking its employees to consider either voluntarily retiring early or take 4 to 6 weeks off to reduce labor costs. The reduction of surgeries could impact budgets for years to come. FGCU is working on a plan for students to take classes on campus in the fall. The Florida Board of Governors is asking all 12 state universities to develop a plan for a meeting on June 23rd. A family escaped a house fire caused by lightning in North Naples. Firefighters say that home is likely uninhabitable. Memorial Day weekend's right around the corner, and businesses are expecting a surge. The Sea Gypsy Inn on Fort Myers Beach says they're already fully booked. This morning, there's a new boss at Estero-based Hertz. Paul Stone was appointed CEO on Saturday. Before, he was Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Operations Officer of North America. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic slowing in Cape Coral south on Chiquita as well as on Santa Barbara heading towards Cape Parkway. The best way to avoid this delay, go ahead and stick to Skyline. That's going to be your quickest option. Also, traffic a little congested getting onto Gleason Parkway eastbound from Surfside, northbound on Del Prado from Pine Island, as well as eastbound in North Fort Myers on Pondella heading towards Business 41. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, pop-up, scattered showers and storms will be working their way through. Not an all-day rain event, kind of off and on, hit or miss, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, breezy at times. Few isolated showers possible Wednesday. And then hot, humid with daily chances for primarily afternoon and evening. Spotty showers and storms for Friday and all the way towards the holiday weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Hi, this is Lynn from Fort Myers, and I listened to Drew Steele on my way to work, and I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Want to talk about Stadium Dry Cleaners. My good friends, they are great people there. I've been going to Stadium Dry Cleaners, I'm telling you, for as long as I can remember. And you may know Larry Rose. Now, Larry is an experienced SEC and NFL referee. Well, I know Larry has a fantastic dry cleaner and a great businessman. Look, you're going to love Stadium Dry Cleaners. They have discounts for our first responders and seniors. They have multiple locations near Publix at Daniels Crossing in Fort Myers, the Gateway Trade Center in Fort Myers, and the Elegant Image Dry Cleaners next to Walgreens on Del Prado in Cape Coral. They are Lee County's leading dry cleaner since 1988. With 30 years of experience in Lee County, I'm telling you, I trust my family's dry cleaning to Larry and the team at Stadium Dry Cleaners. So will you visit them? Visit stadiumdrycleaners.com and look for their monthly specials for great savings.
With the worldwide pandemic and stock markets plummeting, now is the time to listen to a voice of reason. No fear-mongering or speculation, just straightforward talk about how to retire during unprecedented times. Get it right here every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon on Retire with Grace with Bob Grace. Or call Bob today at 866-466-1099. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Hi there. My name is Dr. Svetlana Kogan, and I'm a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in downtown Naples. As we're going through these challenging times together, I'd like to take a moment to point out some of the goodness that has impressed me so much in observing our Southwest Florida friends and neighbors. There has been such an outpouring of kindness, camaraderie, and civility that we should feel truly grateful to be a part of this community. We know that focusing on negativity and statistical models lowers our immune system by chronically draining our adrenal glands. So let's focus on love, faith, and hope instead, the three pillars of well-balanced mind-body. If our nervous system is in equilibrium, we're better equipped to fight off viruses. Make no mistake, Together, we shall overcome this. For holistic medical advice or to inquire about the practice, visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com.
1 hour air conditioning and heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1-HOUR.
At Mr. Sparky, our community is our top priority. As you spend more time at home, you may notice electrical problems that you have been putting off. Please don't DIY. Instead, give our team of professional electricians a call. We are open and ready to serve you. Call us today at 888-8-SPARKY.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text Line 239-479-5592. YouTube, you can watch each and every day as we stream live. Just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Also, of course, on Facebook at 925 Fox News. We have Matt Whittaker, who's going to join us. His new book, Above the Law. We'll be talking to him at the top of the hour. I cannot wait for this conversation because, boy, we got questions about Attorney General Barr and some of his comments yesterday. We have questions about Mike Flynn and Obamagate. So all of that is coming up. But before we move on, you know what we need, Jake? We need a little morning cup of Joe. Who's with me, right?
Sit back with your morning cup of Joe.
Not a joke. They fail to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat. Is it incompetence? Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I call him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote. How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive? Stop tweeting about it.
So while Joe Biden is screaming about to the president and tweeting, Jake, while Joe Biden is screaming about this and talking about all the things that the president is doing wrong, as he is describing his tweets and running with the same narrative that Joe Biden runs with, Orange Man bad. There's honking geese in the background. Did you hear that? Listen to it again, Jake. Here, tell me if you recognize it.
They fail to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat. Is it incompetence? Corruption?
Why does it feel like that anything that could happen to Joe Biden does happen to Joe Biden? And so there he is talking about tweets, and apparently the geese were insulted because we don't tweet, we honk.
Wasn't he like Delecto? What was his name? His fake Twitter?
No, you're thinking of you're thinking of Mitt Romney, Delecto? No, that's Mitt Romney.
Man, I wish that was Biden. Whew.
Why?
Pierre Delecto?
No, that's not Joe Biden. Pierre Delecto was Mitt Romney.
I'm sure Joe Biden has a fake Twitter account out there that he's...
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now we leave it up to you, everybody. Jake just started something that I was not planning on. You ready, Jake?
I'm ready.
I want you to keep an eye on the text line, 239-479-5592. I want you to keep an eye on the YouTube page right now, all of you watching at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And please subscribe. I want you to comment. If Joe Biden were to have a Pierre Delecto or whatever it is, Twitter account, what would his Twitter handle be? What should Joe Biden's fake Twitter handle be, like Mitt Romney had back in the day, and some others, all the others that we I forget, but there were plenty. So if you had to make up a name for Joe Biden, let's come up with some fun names, and we'll do that. All right. That's a good one, Jake. Let's see if we have any comments coming up, and and if we have them on our, by the way, if we have some comments on our YouTube channel or Facebook page, here you go. We'll post them up. All right. Some of them are awful right now. They're just not very good. All right, 239-479-5592. So there you go. A little bit of Joe Biden with Hunk and Geese. Even the geese don't want to hear Joe Biden. They're trying to interrupt him. It's awful. But, Joe Biden going into details of how the president's bad. And, he's talking about the president to stop tweeting. And we need to know what we're going to do. What's the plan? What's the plan, Mr. President, to get this economy back up and running? Because if you're a Democrat, the plan is simple. We don't. We wait for a vaccine because, we keep moving the goalposts. At first, the 15 and 30 days was because we have to mitigate, because we have to make sure that we flatten the curve. Now that we flattened the curve to the point where it's severely flattened in a good way, now we've moved the goalposts because now we have to have a therapeutic or a vaccine. A vaccine, especially, that could take months. It could take years to have a vaccine. But who's counting? As long as the all-powerful government is there to keep printing, keep those printing presses going, then we can do that. So that's Biden's plan. Please don't scream at us about what the president of the United States' plan is, because we know Joe Biden's plan is more of the same, which is really nothing. And what if we had to have a vaccine? How willing are you to be the first one to step up to take a vaccine that has been created in such a short period of time? You've got Moderna's vaccine that we talked about, the Wall Street Journal opinion piece. 16% of vaccines that begin clinical trials have been approved. So that means 84% of them do not. More than 100 vaccines in development right now worldwide. You've got the Gates Foundation and the National Institutes of Health investing heavily to accelerate Moderna's, those like Moderna with the most scientific potential based on early evidence. There's suggestions that this could or possibly be an effective vaccine. And you want to be the first one to take it. Will you step up? Alan Dershowitz says the government has a right to plunge a needle into your arm. That's not exaggeration, and that's not hyperbole. That's exactly what he said, everybody. I'm just putting this out there because Harvard Law School emeritus professor Alan Dershowitz claimed in an interview, this is from WND. WND.com has this article, that the government has the constitutional right under the 10th Amendment to forcibly vaccinate a citizen to curb the spread of a contagious disease. Forcibly, the state has the right to vaccinate you, no matter what you think. So before we get into this story and before you hear Alan Dershowitz's voice and what he said specifically and how I wonder how you feel about this, let's do this, Jake. You ready? Let's pull up some. Let's see what we have. Let's pull up a couple of Joe Biden fake Twitter account names. Are you ready? I'm going to some of, you can read some, Jake. Go ahead and read some of the friendly for radio and YouTube choices. Can you read some of the friendly ones, please?
The Forgotten is a good one.
The Forgotten Joe Biden. There you go. If Joe Biden had a Twitter account like Pierre Delecto, like Mitt Romney had, what would his Twitter handle be? Go ahead.
Sniffy Mac Snifferson?
Sniffy McSnifferson? I like that. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I see them.
Joe?
Okay. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see some of your choices pulled up. Here's one that says Chester the Molester. That's not very nice.
A corn pop.
Of course.
Or the real corn pop.
Of course, the real corn pop. What about Quid Pro Joe? That's isn't that an obvious one, right?
Where's Hunter?
Hunter. Oh man, some of these are classics, and some of these I can't even. Okay, some person says Slow Joe Rodriguez. I don't get it. Okay. Somebody just said no.
Sleepy Joe.
All right.
Sleepy Joe and the 7 naps.
Sleepy Joe and the 7 naps. Can you? I guess you could put that all on a Twitter handle, couldn't you?
Yeah, it about fills it up.
Yeah, it does. All right, enough of that. We'll keep watching your YouTube comments, and we'll keep watching your text comments. If somebody said hoping and groping. Sorry. All right. That's not nice. Don't even bring the music up for that. Okay. Here you go. You ready? Harvard Law School Emeritus Professor Alan Dershowitz. Why am I having such a hard time saying his name today? Is saying, look, you may not want to take a vaccine. You may not like the idea of being vaccinated. The government has the right to do it to you forcibly.
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread a disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated? Meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
Excuse me? If you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. This is Alan Dershowitz, who said this on an interview show. WND has the story. How do you feel about that, everybody? How do you feel about if a vaccine comes out now that you constitutionally do not have the right to deny that vaccine to your child or to yourself, but yet you will be forcibly taken and a needle could be plunged into your arm because the government says so. Now, I find interesting that in the comment here that Alan Dershowitz said it says you have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread the disease even if you disagree. Well, what if you're asymptomatic? What if you don't see? Is this how this works? We're just going to assume you have it. We're just going to assume you'll get it. Masks. Are we going to now have everybody wear a mask forever? If the governor of Michigan, Whittaker, decides that everybody has to wear a mask and that's just the way it is, the state says so, you have no recourse. Does that mean that constitutionally she's right and you're just going to have to wear a mask? The vaccination, I don't know. How do you feel about the vaccination part? This is interesting to me because, well, the way he puts it, right?
Literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
Plunge a needle into your arm. But is that where the next debate steps up, everybody? There was a Wall Street Journal article recently. I'm trying to remember the author who wrote the piece, but it was pretty much about, hey, welcome back to work, everybody. Oh, and everything's changed. The scanning aspects that happen, the idea of checking temperatures, the idea of maybe having some device on your smartphone that is checking your every move to see whether or not you are going to be near somebody that could be carrying the virus. I'm just wondering what you think about all of that. All right, hold on. Jim's in Estero, and Jim wanted to give a Joe Biden Twitter handle name if he were to have some, because Jake is convinced that Joe Biden has a fake account out there, a Twitter account. He's not telling everybody about, which is ridiculous. But okay, go ahead. So what's Joe Biden's fake Twitter name account? What would it be?
Empty cup.
Empty cup. All right, there you go. Empty cup. Some of the others. Prince of Broken Toys. Hair Sniffer Joe. There's plenty of them. All right, this is fun. We'll keep it going. But not right now, because now we have to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Do you want to play Drew's College right now? We would love to have you join in with us. And even if you're watching on your YouTube, even some of your choices for what Joe Biden's name is going to be. We got, look at this. We got Dopey. We've got Sniffy. Sleepy Hollow. Okay. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. Hey, if you want to call right now, we would love to hear from you. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. Caller number 5. You'll play Drew's College. We'll have a little bit of fun. We'll get you a diploma. We'll get you some prizes. Jake's waiting for your call right now. So caller 5. Let's play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic slowing in Cape Coral South on Chiquita as well as on Santa Barbara heading towards Cape Parkway. The best way to avoid this delay, go ahead and stick to Skyline. That's going to be your quickest option. Also, traffic a little congested getting onto Gleason Parkway eastbound from Surfside, northbound on Del Prado from Pine Island, as well as eastbound in North Fort Myers on Pondella heading towards Business 41. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Off and on, scattered showers and storms in the forecast for today. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. 86 degrees and breezy at times. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This is Jason from North Fort Myers, and I listen to Drew Steele in the mornings. I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest.
The aesthetics of the appearance from the outside and the inside is just amazing. But it's quiet. It's really quiet inside, and it's made a huge difference in our energy consumption. My name is Dee Channel, and I have 100% confidence in Storm Shield products. On a scale of 1 to 10, they'd be 10 plus.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. My wife and I made a decision to replace our windows. Storm Shield windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%. And our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
Great news, Southwest Florida. Below invoice employee pricing at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right. Below invoice pricing on Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Wranglers, Jeep Gladiators, and heavy-duty Ram trucks. Over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles in stock. Loaded, luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited lease. 0 down, $269 per month. That's right. Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. 0 down, $269 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 4 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. Our parts, service, and body shop are open to serve you. Below invoice employee pricing at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42 monthly sum, keep 10,000 miles per year, 0 to 8 signing plus tax, title, doc, and dealer fee, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0 APR with 0 down with lender approval.
Rock Solid knows you've sacrificed a lot during these difficult times. Washing your hands often, social distancing, keeping your family and community safe. Please don't forget the virus and bacteria can remain on hard surfaces like your countertops. Rock Solid's experienced experts can deep clean, sanitize, and reseal your countertops, keeping your home or business truly safe. Book your Rock Solid special safety service right now by calling 596-7676 or on the web at rocksolidnaples.com. Be safe and stay healthy.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
If your business was forced to downsize due to COVID-19 and now you are preparing to hire or rehire staff, let us help with your drug screening. Scott Richardson of Compass Drug Screening here. Compass Drug Screening can help streamline your drug testing program, often with same-day reporting. Compass Drug Screening is on Metro Parkway and available by appointment, or we can bring the testing to you with our on-site services. Visit CompassDrugScreening.com today. CompassDrugScreening.com. Let us help with your drug screening.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, we got David in Fort Myers. Hello there, David.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree. Question, sir, starts right now. Hey, David, can you name the vice president of these United States? His name is?
Mike Pence.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Can you name the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? The Chief Justice's name is?
Robert.
That is correct, sir. You got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this very question. Who won the GOP nomination for President of the United States in 2012?
It's either Romney. Let me think. 12.
Why don't you stay with that?
Romney.
Good, yeah, stay with that. Yeah, that's right. All right, so you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. You ready? Oh, this is a good one. In 2000, Al Gore was selected to be the presidential candidate, right, for the Democrats. Remember that? Al Gore goes against George W. Bush, right? Who did Al Gore select to be his running mate? Who was Al Gore's running mate?
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's a tough one.
Of course it's a tough one. It's a PhD question. I'll tell you what. I'll even tease you a little bit. I'll give you his... He was a senator. His first name was Joe.
Well, it wasn't Biden, that's for sure.
No.
I don't know.
It was Joe Lieberman. Remember that guy? Joe Lieberman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. See, we learned something.
Can you believe Romney was a GOP just in 2004 or 8?
How about that, David? Is that nuts?
Nuts. He's now a liberal.
Kind of, sort of, in a way. Well, yeah, he's not exactly a fan of the president. Anyway, hey, let's move on. You got a master's degree today on Drew's College. It's a very impressive feat. So you get the diploma and you get to speak with Jake the Millennial, and he'll talk to you about how we get prizes and diplomas to you in this world of Rona. So stay there, okay?
Thanks for staying on the air. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to us on the air. Or, oh gosh, I just hung up on him. David, call back. I accidentally hit the wrong button. I was supposed to hit the hold button. I hit the drop button. Sorry. You can watch this on YouTube as well. And Matt Whittaker is going to join us next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. My friends at Zero Res Carpet and Tile Cleaning want to let you know, look, your safety and your family's safety is their top priority. In the light of the current health and safety concerns, Zero Res wants to let you know about some of the procedures and preventative measures for added protection. Practicing safe social distancing while in your home. You can even leave or stay in another room and they can communicate with you by phone. How cool is that? Cleaning and disinfecting all equipment with EPA-registered disinfectants between each job. The techs are wearing gloves and booties. They're supplementing the supply of products that are EPA approved to clean and disinfect hard surfaces, and as an added preventive measure and no additional fee, they're going to treat doorknobs with the EPA approved hospital grade disinfecting products. Look, the top priority is to create peace of mind by providing people with healthy, safe, clean home and work environments, and they're going to continue to do just that through this difficult time. Give them a call at 239-932-9376. That's 239-932-9376 or online at ZeroResSWFL.com. Spell it backwards or forwards, it still spells the same. ZEROREZ.
True relief for back and neck pain.
During these challenging times, Johnson Spinal Care at 596 Back is still here to help people who are dealing with pain or weakness from back or neck conditions like stenosis, sciatica, arthritis, or pinched nerves. We are doing our best to continue to help people who are suffering using non-surgical spinal decompression therapy. We have redoubled our sterilization efforts to help keep you safe. Everything is thoroughly wiped down between every patient. You can trust that at Johnson Spinal Care we are taking every precaution, so please don't hesitate to seek spinal decompression for relief from your back or neck pain. Painless, comfortable, and safe. Avoid spinal injections or surgery. Don't suffer thinking you can't get any care for your condition. Helping Southwest Florida for over 12 years, we are just a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office for a telephone consultation to learn more about spinal decompression. 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
Good morning. This is Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A free walk-up coronavirus testing site opens today in Collier County. It's at North Collier Regional Park on Livingston Road today and tomorrow from 9 to 5. Lee Health is asking its employees to consider either voluntarily retiring early or take 4 to 6 weeks off to reduce labor costs. The reduction of surgeries could impact budgets for years to come. FGCU is working on a plan for students to take classes on campus in the fall. The Florida Board of Governors is asking all 12 state universities universities to develop a plan for a meeting on June 23rd. A family escaped a house fire caused by lightning in North Naples. Firefighters say that home is likely uninhabitable. Memorial Day weekend's right around the corner, and businesses are expecting a surge. The Sea Gypsy Inn on Fort Myers Beach says they're already fully booked. This morning, there's a new boss at Estero-based Hertz. Paul Stone was appointed CEO on Saturday. Before, he was Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Operations Officer of North America. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic slowing in Cape Coral south on Chiquita as well as on Santa Barbara heading towards Cape Parkway. The best way to avoid this delay, go ahead and stick to Skyline. That's going to be your quickest option. Also, traffic a little congested getting onto Gleason Parkway eastbound from Surfside, northbound on Del Prado from Pine Island, as well as eastbound in North Fort Myers on Pondella heading towards Business 41. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, pop-up scattered showers and storms will be working their way through. Not an all-day rain event, kind of off and on, hit or miss, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, breezy at times. Few isolated showers possible Wednesday. And then hot, humid with daily chances for primarily afternoon and evening, spotty showers and storms for Friday and all the way towards the holiday weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Hi, this is Gary from Fort Myers, and I listen to Drew Steele on my way to work in the morning. And I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Right now, the world feels different as we stay apart to make sure we can safely come back together. Till then, there is something you can do without even leaving your home. Respond to the 2020 census online, by phone, or by mail. The census impacts where hundreds of billions in federal funding will go for things like hospitals, schools, and roads. Now is the time to go to 2020census.gov. It's as easy as it is important. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Hey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit FloridaCoolToday.com to schedule. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. I have my friend TJ Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And the selection, of course, at Floor Meisters is amazing. The cord tech that I have now in my home. TJ, I got to tell you, it is unbelievable. My wife over the moon. It's like, it's perfect. Even down to the installation, everything was amazing, TJ.
Well, I'm glad your wife is very happy with it.
So am I.
It's softer, it's quieter, it's beautiful, real look of wood, everything your wife wanted, and you got it all taken care of for her.
And so talk about the selection that you have.
Right now we have 90 colors of Core-Tech in stock, ready to go pick up, put down as soon as you want it. Everything starting at $299 on up with lifetime warranty.
You have to love Core-Tech. You've got to love TJ and Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. If you haven't been there, go there today. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Now, whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're joining us today, 239-479-5592. That is the phone number and text line. Anytime you want to watch, we are on YouTube at our YouTube channel. It's Drew Steele Radio, 3 E's. And we hope you'll subscribe. I am so happy to speak right now with Matthew Whittaker, the former acting attorney general of the United States, who has a fantastic new book out. And today is the day. Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump. And he is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Sir, it's Drew Steele. How are you today?
Drew, I am so glad to be with you. I've listened to you when I visit Southwest Florida, and it's a place that I love being, and I wish I was there now.
Well, I appreciate that so much, and love that you visit here. And as you can imagine, we have a lot of Trump supporters. We have a lot of people who are going to be interested in purchasing this book, Above the Law, today at all your favorite outlets. And I really want to dig into the book, quite frankly, because boy, you know, there are so many questions even now in the past 48 hours. It seems like there's lately more and more information is coming up, and it really pertains to a lot of what you talk about in the book. But before we get started, I have to ask you this. I've been dying to ask you this question, so I'm so happy to have you on right now, and it's this. Early on, when everything was coming out about the Russian collusion hoax, when we had Jeff Sessions recusing himself in the confusion, and then James Comey, and then you have the Robert Mueller investigation. You have all of these things that are taking place. And through all of this tumultuous time, here you are, you're the in-between. You go from, you're the in-between between the Attorney General at the time, Jeff Sessions, and the Attorney General now, William Barr. And here you are in this unbelievably tumultuous moment in our history. Can you describe what that was like to walk into that position at that time? And then to, as you explain in the book that we'll dig into, Above the Law, all the things that you come to find out. What was that like to be in that position?
Well, that's one of the reasons I wrote this book, was to give an inside account as to my experience as the acting attorney general that was Jeff Sessions' chief of staff, was suddenly put at the head of the Department of Justice, and then shook hands with Bill Barr and, sort of went back into the private sector. But, I think it's all really evidenced from, my hearing in February of last year in front of the House Judiciary Committee. And if you remember that day, as much as I do, it was extraordinary. It was where I famously told the chairman, Nadler, that his 5 minutes were up. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people wanted some pushback from the administration as to not only Democrats and the media and really their false narratives that they were putting out there, but, obviously the president wanted others to fight for him. And it was an honor of a lifetime to serve in his administration, and it was also an honor to fight for him on behalf of his agenda. And that's, in this book, Above the Law, that's what I lay out, is sort of that experience. But at the same time, I also wanted to accurately account for the events that surrounded the Mueller investigation and how he was appointed, why he was appointed, and question whether he even should have been appointed and whether the special counsel regulation is necessary and or constitutional. So, Drew, there's just, there's just so much to unpack, and and it's really, but it was an amazing time. It was an honor of a lifetime. But I did feel like I was, swinging every day. You had to get up and fight.
Yeah, and I can't imagine, and that's what to me is a part of what is so fascinating. And I'm sure when everyone digs into this book, Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump, when you dig into the book and you realize, because I think that context is so important, Mr. Whittaker, I think it's crucial, because the fact that you were put into this position at that moment in time, and then to understand all the things that were happening at the time, and then to have to fight against a deep state that is very real. And maybe you can speak to this as well, how complicit the media has been in all of this, and even now. And even as more evidence comes out, even as you have the Attorney General now, Bill Barr, who is saying things that the president has been saying all the time, which is this should never happen to anybody. He doesn't say Republicans. He says Republicans and Democrats. This is something that we should never see what happened in the 2016 election, all the things that we know took place. Can you speak to some of the complicity of the mainstream and this media that has been on board since day one and even now?
Yeah, I think there's one moment in time that I would love to take your listeners back to, and that is when the New York Times ran a story. They claimed they had sources that there were multiple interactions between the people in the Trump campaign and the Russian government. I mean, it was written as if it had happened. It was written as if it was true. And then we see the Mueller report ultimately almost 2 years later, which said there was no evidence of any interactions between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. And so, I mean, that just tells you, not only the New York Times, the Washington Post, all of the major news outlets were all on the same talking points, and that there was this illegal relationship and that there was no evidence of. There never was evidence of. And one of the first things, and one of the things I talk about in this book, Drew, is how when I got read into the Mueller investigation, how my heart sank because the first thing they told me is, we haven't found any evidence. And I just thought, this is a complete waste of time and money. And it's a shame, but, it's over now. And the last thing I want to do is end it prematurely, because I was being told it was any day I should expect a report. And that was my entire time of acting Attorney General. I expected any day could be the day when I got the Mueller report. Ultimately, after I left, Barr got it approximately 6 weeks later. And we see what that was. It was, essentially, it should have completely exonerated the president. It did exonerate the president, but because they wanted to give cookie crumbs to Congress to possibly impeach him, they wrote Part 2, which was all about alleged attempts to obstruct justice, which were completely inconsistent with the law, and that was so disappointing. And that's I explain that all in this book, and I think it's very important for everyone to see it lay out in black and white as to how abhorrent this moment in time and this period in time, and how shameful it was for the Department of Justice to be, kind of leading that effort.
Yeah. Matthew Whittaker joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News' new book out today, Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump. Please, I am insisting that you go and get this book, because this is the kind of information, again, that you need to have, you need to tuck in your back pocket, and you need to know about when there are people that in the media right now, and quite frankly, those on the left, who are going to continue to push conspiracy theory ideas and narratives that when we say things like, and you probably would know better than anyone as you hear even the news of the day with Mike Flynn, what has happened with the Mike Flynn issue, how the judge is now starting to make things up, decide that a judge is going to say, well, there's nothing to see here. We have to continue to have a case in front of Mike Flynn now, that even though the evidence would show and was already out there that Mike Flynn did not lie, that we have evidence that's out there now, and the concerns about how involved the administration was in this masking or unmasking. I even wonder with that issue, and if you can speak to that, was he unmasked? It almost appears as if, as the latest information comes out, that he wasn't masked to begin with, because of the fact that there were no unmasking requests that even happened immediately after the phone call with Kislyak took place. So what kind of questions are out there even for you right now with regard to that?
Drew, you're raising two, if not more, very important points. I think, first of all, you're right. Based on what we know, the phone call that everyone believes, existed on December 29th of 2016, and then was discussed in the White House by the president, vice president, and many others on January 5th, no unmasking requests were made. And so that suggests, because the FBI knew about that call days before that meeting at the White House. And in that period of time, there's not a single masking request based on everything we've learned from what the DNI acting DNI Grinnell has issued. We know that something strange is happening here, and we need, I would say, immediate answers. And that's again one of the themes of my book is that we need accountability on not only the Flynn investigation, but so many of these decisions that were made because they do not look consistent with regular order or the policies of the Department of Justice and the FBI. On the Flynn court proceeding, this judge appears to be making up extrajudicial proceedings that are not in the federal rules of criminal procedure. Every first-year law student learns those, and I'm very concerned that there's going to be some public, prosecution of Flynn through some procedure that doesn't even exist because this judge, doesn't like the president and doesn't like the administration. It's very concerning, and I really hope that what he's doing ultimately doesn't happen because I think, this is, well within Department of Justice ability to, dismiss this case.
Yeah.
They have complete discretion whether to pursue a prosecution or not, whether to walk away from a prosecution or not. And really the judge has no discretion and should really immediately after that court filing to dismiss should just act on that motion without some extra, sort of quasi-prosecutor appointment by the court.
Right. And to say nothing about setting precedent. What a horrible precedent to set. That you would.
Well, it'll get, Drew. I mean, in all seriousness, it'll get overturned immediately, if not at the appellate level, but by the Supreme Court, because this is inconsistent with the American system of justice, and this judge is, above the law, as they say.
I like what you did there. You see, that's how you do it. Yeah, that's Matthew Whittaker joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. The former acting attorney general of the United States, his new book, Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump. You can get it right now. And, as you see the cover, and I talked about you and I talked about a little bit about the book and the situations that all of us have been talking about for months and years about the deep state and the situation, and you see the cover Above the Law, and it's the one thing that everybody wants the answer to. Is that who's above the law? Quite honestly, it brings up that question that I'm sure you've been asked a million times. When do we see some prosecution? When do we see indictments? When do we see anything that would suggest that people will be held accountable? Because it feels like every single name that you have talked about, that you talk about in the book, that is from James Comey to Robert Mueller to the corrupt individuals that I'll say are corrupt, the ones that were helping Robert Mueller to all types of individuals that are out there that were part of this deep state and the taking down of the president. The question remains: when will we see something happen? Is everybody above the law now? Is that what we're led to expect?
Yeah, and no one is above the law.
Right.
We are a nation of law, and, American people and everyone I talk to, and back when you could travel around and I, visit not only my home state of Iowa, but really all over the country, and including, places like Naples and Fort Myers and all those beautiful places that I love to visit, I would hear one thing, and it's when is somebody or somebody's going to be held accountable for what we went through, at the end of the Obama administration and into the Trump administration. And, I don't want to get ahead of John Durham or Bill Barr. I think they're, obviously going to get to the truth. They're going to give a full accounting of what happened. As to this, I saw it with my own eyes. But I thought the Attorney General Barr was very clear yesterday that while he said there was no evidence to criminally investigate Obama or Biden, and I know that disappointed a lot of your listeners, he did say that there are other targets, criminal targets of the investigation. And I think that should be good news for those that believe in truth and justice and accountability. And so, whatever happens, there has to be complete transparency from the FBI and the DOJ as to how this investigation started, what the origins of the investigation were, and, not only when poor judgment or decision making was made, but where, quite frankly, where people cut corners or violated the law, I think all of those need to be exposed and, if appropriate, be prosecuted.
Yeah. And I wonder if when the Attorney General was saying that, talking about the former president and the former vice president specifically, concerning charges or investigations or looking into does that necessarily mean that just because that was said that you couldn't look and say, all right, so nothing that they can see now is criminal, but there are some people that did some activities that may very well be criminal. Doesn't it say that for now that's the position, but possibly if there's proof beyond a reasonable doubt that everybody can, kind of put the puzzle together and it points to one of those two individuals or both, is it possible to speculate that that could be a possibility and you ultimately can end up there as long as you have the proof beyond reasonable doubt, which is what we're looking for?
Yeah, you need evidence. And I think that's what sometimes, we want to use the same kind of standard that the Obama Department of Justice used, which was, sort of just a suspicion and with no evidence or a belief or a narrative. And that's what Bill Barr is restoring to the Department of Justice, is that the proper predication of these investigations, because it is pretty clear right now, and I think we're going to learn more, but it's pretty clear that the investigation for sure into President Trump was not properly predicated. As I discussed in the book at length, Andy McCabe essentially single-handedly made that decision solely because Jim Comey was fired by the president based on a recommendation of Rod Rosenstein, who appointed Bob Mueller. And so, so that's one. I think there was, Flynn was another case where not only did it appear that the investigation into General Flynn wasn't properly predicated, which means there was no evidence that a crime had been committed, but, they also, inconsistent with past policy and practice at the FBI and at the White House, they sent agents over there to improperly interview him. And the interview and what he said wasn't even material to any investigation that was open. And so, you look at just those two pieces and that this can't happen. And this is why I think we need to have so much faith in what Barr is doing. And also, if you remember, take your listeners back to the Hillary Clinton email investigation or the Mueller investigation, both which were, again, originated by Jim Comey and Andy McCabe and Peter Strzok, all on the cover of my book. We're not hearing any leaks out of the Durham investigation. The only things we're hearing is where Bill Barr believes it's appropriate to update the American people as to, sort of the timing of the investigation or the scope of the investigation. So I think the American people should know that Bill Barr has restored the Department of Justice to the place where it should be, where investigations into American citizens aren't high profile and are not publicly leaked or otherwise promoted, for the, selfish interests of the people at the top of the FBI. So I'm pretty confident that ultimately people will be held accountable and will have full transparency as to what happened and to make sure this never happens again.
And if you want to know why and you want to know what happened and you want to get the details, please go out. Today is the day. Get the book Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump. It's at all your favorite locations and you know where to go. Get it today. And Matthew Whittaker joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Sir, it was a pleasure. I hope we get a chance to do this again soon. I have a lot of things I would love to dig in.
Once we can, I can do a book tour. I'm planning on coming down there and doing a book signing, so I will make sure to stop by and say hello.
That would be fantastic. All right, all the best, and we'll speak soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Bruce. See you soon.
I'll see you. 239-479-5592, the phone number in the text line. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
This is Randy from Fort Myers. I listen to Drew Steele every morning on my drive to work on 92.5 Fox News, and I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's BABBEL.com.
If you're injured, you need to hear this message. All law firms are not the same, and the law firm you choose can make a huge difference. So how do you choose which firm to represent you? I'm Mike Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Here's my advice. Do your research. Find the firm with the most experience, the best results, with the resources and track record of delivering exceptional service. As America's largest injury law firm, we have thousands of employees, unrivaled technology, investigators, experts, and an army of over 500 lawyers across the country. We are everywhere for everyone. We have the resources to take on the biggest fights and the biggest bullies. Last year alone, over 2 million people like you called Morgan & Morgan in their time of need. And our firm recovered over $7 billion for our clients. So after an injury, who would you choose? Results matter. Reputation matters. Choices matter. There's only one, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Hi, I'm Bob Grace, founder of Grace Tax Advisory Group. We want to earn your trust the old-fashioned way by treating you with honesty and respect and by bringing full disclosure and value to you and your family. At Grace Tax Advisory Group, we pride ourselves in having in-house wealth managers, attorneys, and CPAs all under one roof who actually talk to each other. That means my fiduciary team works together to design your retirement income plan, tax reduction strategies, wills, trust, and healthcare plans. If you've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, your plan, including your first-year tax return, is absolutely free. To schedule a visit, call or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 866-366-1099. That's VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 866-366-1099. Or go to retirewithgrace.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
There are times in life when certain situations are unavoidable. As life passes, we get a little slower and a little more achy than we did the year before. All part of life. But when we lose the ability for intimacy with the one we love, it can feel much worse than some achy bones. Unfortunately, the lady we love typically feels like this situation is because of her. As men, we know that's just not true. We want that spark back just as much as they do. The Fort Myers Men's Clinic physicians hear this from struggling couples every day. Fortunately, the anxiety, embarrassment, and guilt from erectile dysfunction can be gone in one simple visit to the Fort Myers Men's Clinic with a same-day solution. The joy of your relationship will be back, and the best part of it is seeing that spark back in a happy relationship. 239-317-7777. It's simple, safe, and private. 239-317-7777. Clinic visit, evaluation, and testing is just $99. FortMyersMen'sClinic.com for more information. 317-7777.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers is open and we're here to help. Over 400 vehicles in stock. New 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease. 0 down. $149 per month. That's right. A new Kia for $149 per month with 0 down. Plus at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, you can drive payment-free for 4 months, interest-free for up to 75 months, and worry-free for 100,000 miles. Plus prepaid gas for up to a year. Our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. New Kias, 0 down, $149 per month at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 0 to signing plus tax, tag, title, doc, and dealer fee. 0 security deposit, $13.33 per month per thousand borrowed for 75 months at 0 APR with 0 down.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. We came into business during the mortgage crisis of 2008, so you could say we've seen a thing or two and learned to adjust. Currently, we've made safety adjustments. At Pure Air, all employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your protection and theirs. If you need assistance with your air conditioning system, please know that Pure Air Conditioning is making safety priority number one. You can chat with us online at getpureair.com.
On my 7th birthday, we fled our home. Christians like us were being persecuted. Freedom was a fantasy. But we heard about somewhere different, where people are free to work, to worship, to succeed. We left everything we had to come to America. My name is Casey Askar. I worked hard, joined the Marines, built a business. I lived the American dream. For a small-town immigrant kid, I did pretty good. And there's no other country where my story is possible. I made it because America gave me a chance. Because America stands for freedom, opportunity, enterprise. But those ideals are under attack. Politicians are selling this country out, seizing power, nationalizing businesses, and taking our freedom. My name is Casey Askar, and I'm running for Congress to stand with President Trump. And I approve this message. It's my duty to defend America with everything I have, because I owe everything I have to America.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
Good morning. This is Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A free walk-up coronavirus testing site opens today in Collier County. It's at North Collier Regional Park on Livingston Road today and tomorrow from 9 to 5. Lee Health is asking its employees to consider either voluntarily retiring early or take 4 to 6 weeks off to reduce labor costs. The reduction of surgeries could impact budgets for years to come. FGCU is working on a plan for students to take classes on campus in the fall. The Florida Board of Governors is asking all 12 state universities to develop a plan for a meeting on June 23rd. A family escaped a house fire caused by lightning in North Naples. Firefighters say that home is likely uninhabitable. Memorial Day weekend's right around the corner, and businesses are expecting a surge. The Sea Gypsy Inn on Fort Myers Beach says they're already fully booked. This morning, there's a new boss at Estero-based Hertz. Paul Stone was appointed CEO on Saturday. Before, he was Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Operations Officer of North America. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic slowing in Cape Coral south on Chiquita as well as on Santa Barbara heading towards Cape Parkway. The best way to avoid this delay, go ahead and stick to Skyline. That's going to be your quickest option. Also traffic a little congested getting onto Gleason Parkway eastbound from Surfside, northbound on Del Prado from Pine Island, as well as eastbound in North Fort Myers on Pondella heading towards Business 41. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, pop-up, scattered showers and storms will be working their way through. Not an all-day rain event, kind of off and on, hit or miss, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, breezy at times. Few isolated showers possible Wednesday. And then hot, humid with daily chances for primarily afternoon and evening, spotty showers and storms for Friday and all the way towards the holiday weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Hey, this is Steve from Naples. I listen to Drew in the morning, and I was right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. We're excited to be open. The staff at Stevie's is here for you and will continue to serve you while putting your health and safety first. We invite you to enjoy a meal in our dining room with a limited menu and seating, or order from our to-go menu on StevieTomato.com for takeout, curbside pickup, or delivered through Bite Squad. Choose from the favorites you love, like our award-winning Chicago-style pizza, juicy chicken wings, fall-off-the-bone rack of ribs, gourmet burgers, and more. We're on our way to a brighter tomorrow together. together, and this great country will prevail. And as you know, Stevie's is committed to your complete satisfaction of our food, service, and value. We're proud to have you as our great customers, and we'll look forward to seeing your smiling faces, eating, drinking, and laughing with us at one of our Stevie Tomatoes locations in Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and on Bite Squad. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
We are Moran Wealth Management. Passionate about learning what's important to you and your family. Personable, with 24 professionals dedicated to attentive, customized service and focused on client relationships. Performance-driven. As part of Barron's top 1,200 advisors, Tom Moran, founder, CEO, and senior PIM portfolio manager, is Florida's highest-ranked advisor for 2019. Call 239-920-4440 today or visit MoranWealthManagement.com. Moran Wealth Management. Passionate, personable, performance-driven. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Your home is your sanctuary, your refuge, the place where you should be able to relax, decompress, and chill out. It's the place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Conditioned Air can help you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Lennox home comfort systems are built to last with the newest technology that keeps your air perfect and helps you feel more relaxed and energized. And here's some more good news. Conditioned Air is offering up to $1,600 in rebates, in addition to great financing options on a new Lennox system. That's right, Conditioned Air is making it easier than ever to achieve perfect air in your home. For all the details, call Conditioned Air at 1-888-COLD-AIR today, or visit us online at conditionedair.com. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, think Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. License CAC 1819590.
92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. A reminder, you can watch us on Facebook anytime you like. 925 Fox News, we are there. You can watch us streaming live on YouTube each and every day at our YouTube channel, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. So you can go there and watch right now. And please subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate that. And anytime you want to call or text, 239-479-5592 on the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. We are still getting... Jake, this is kind of a big deal. Before we go to the 5 at 8:35, we might have to end the program with this. Because you earlier in the program, look at clappy hands, man. You earlier in the program said we were talking about Joe Biden. We played a little Joe Biden clip. In case you missed it, we'll play it once again. And we were talking about Twitter, and you said that you're convinced that Joe Biden has some kind of secret. What did you say that he had a secret? What?
He's got a secret Twitter account, like Romney had the Pierre Delecto.
You're convinced that Joe
100%.
Biden, who can barely figure out how to make a phone call from his basement, that he's going to have a Twitter account that's like an undercover Twitter account of Joe Biden. And so we're trying to figure out what would be his Twitter handle, what would be his name. And all of you have come up with some pretty unbelievable texts and even comments on our YouTube channel that we will post on our screen so you can see some of those choices, and even on our Facebook page. So if you would like to send a comment there in YouTube as to what you think Joe Biden's Twitter handles should be, we will post it on our YouTube channel, and we'll just bring them up in just a couple more minutes from now so you can see the choices.
Just one?
Do you want to say one, or do you want me to pop one up on the screen?
No, I just want to say one. I have one that's hilarious.
What is it?
Lion, dog, face, pony soldier.
I think that's already taken, unfortunately. If you go on Twitter and you type in lion, dog, face, pony soldier, I believe that it already exists. Somebody already got ahead. Maybe that's it. Maybe lion, dog, face, pony soldier on Twitter is actually Biden. Check his tweets. All right. Let's get away from this for just a second. Top 5 audio clips of the day. It's 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
We are in the middle of coming out of a once-in-a-100-years pandemic. We have so many important issues in terms of rebuilding the economy, and this is what House Democrats want to focus on?
Yes, it is what House Democrats want to focus on. That is Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who was on Fox and Friends this morning, and House Democrats told the Supreme Court that they are not done looking. I'm not kidding. I wish I was making this up, but Jerry Nadler just needs something to do. I was going to say something, but I won't say. They are looking into possible impeachment offenses by the president. Yes, they're keeping the idea of impeachment open, the Democrats, because they don't have anything, especially when it's a time right now where more people are starting to focus on getting back to living their lives away from lockdowns, away from coronavirus, and more into the, hey, do we know a little bit more about how the former administration weaponized the federal government against an American citizen? We're getting more evidence. Oh, look, a shiny object.
Number 4.
Now, what happened to the president, and I've said this many times, what happened to the president in the 2016 election and throughout the first 2 years of his administration was abhorrent. It was a grave injustice, and it was unprecedented in American history.
That is the Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr. Those are some powerful words, everybody. The Attorney General yesterday, and talking about how, we need to have a conversation. The actions taken by the former administration and law enforcement officials bordering on something that was abhorrent, grave injustice, unprecedented in American history, going after this a duly elected president of the United States and going after him and what was done. And the Attorney General had a lot more to say about that issue, as a matter of fact, yesterday, that we're going to get into in just a minute.
Number 3.
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread a disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated, meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
How do you feel about that, everybody? Taking you physically and plunging a needle into your arm. That is Harvard Law School emeritus professor, Alan Dershowitz, who claimed in an interview that the government has the constitutional right under the 10th Amendment to forcibly vaccinate you, your kids, anybody they want. To vaccinate a citizen to curb the spread of a contagious disease. Really? I'm just suggesting that after saying that, and after you hearing that, you might have some choice words like Jake just had. It's a good thing the microphone's not on. I wonder what you think about that.
Number 2.
They failed to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat. Is it incompetence? Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I call him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote. How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive? Stop tweeting about it.
How are we supposed to take you seriously? There's Joe Biden doing one of his basement press conferences or whatever, his little social media, little doodads there. And there's a geese. There are geese in the background that are honking while he's doing this. Of course, because it's Joe Biden and it's makes sense.
Number 1.
You'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it. I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it.
Oh, well, there's the president of the United States stirring up the media once again, saying yesterday that, yes, he's taking hydroxychloroquine, everybody.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
And as you can imagine, it was a complete and utter meltdown. The media completely melting. What are you wait, hold on a second. You're taking hydroxychloroquine? What's going on? Now, the first reaction is, well, this is nice. They're concerned about his health. They're probably thinking to themselves, well, no, Mr. President, you don't tell us that you're taking it because we found out that you're positive for COVID-19. I hope that's not the case. Because we would hate to think that you would have this and that you would need to be taking something because you're not feeling well. We hope you're okay. Do you really think that's why the media was doing that? Or was it because, oh, there he goes, the president once again. First he started injecting Lysol, and it's really hard to do, that little white little nub there that's on top of the Lysol can to try to get that into your vein. It's tough to do, but if you try hard enough, you might actually get, okay. And on top of that, now we have the president taking hydroxychloroquine because, he wants to prove to you what? What do you think it is? Do you think he's doing it because he's trying to prove a point? Or do you think he's doing it because he has heard, as many of us have, that as a prophylactic, it works? Possibly works, as a matter of fact, when you're talking about in combination with Z-Pak and zinc, and there are some studies to show that that's the case. Of course, everybody's going to focus on the one study through the VA that says, no, the veterans that were taking it, they died. Of course, we can't ask about their condition or at what stage they were in when they were given this, like as a last resort, like this person's going to die anyway. Let's give this a shot. A horrible way to think about this. But the president said, hey, listen, talk to the doctor, and this is what we discussed. And we came up with this strategy.
A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right, I'm not going to get hurt by it. It's been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, for other things. I take it. Frontline workers take it. A lot of doctors take it. Excuse me. A lot of doctors take it. I take it.
A lot of doctors taking it. Anybody bother to find out whether doctors are taking it? One way to find out whether or not the president is being truthful or not is to do some journalism. It might be a little stretch. And to go out and find out whether or not what he's saying is true. Is it true? Are there frontline workers that are taking it as a prophylactic? Are they doing it right now? And anybody checking to see if there's been any kind of results with regard to that? Or are we just supposed to forget about that idea because, it's the president and the fact that he's even talking about this is crazy, right?
No, I hope to not be able to take it soon because, I hope they come up with some answer. But I think people should be allowed to. I got a letter from a doctor the other day from Westchester, New York, around the area. He didn't want anything. He just said, sir, I have hundreds of patients, and I give them hydroxychloroquine. I give them the Z-Pak, which is zithromycin, and I give them zinc. And out of the hundreds of patients, many hundreds, over 300 patients, I haven't lost one. He said, please keep pressing that, sir.
All right. So for a doctor who's given it to hundreds of patients, it's working for him. But, the president even taking it, and that suggestion means that there's something's not right here. To the point where you got Fredo, you got Chris Cuomo on CNN. Oh, he's outraged. This is an outrage. This is
So our president wants to talk about how strong he is to take hydroxychloroquine because he just does everything he can to make himself strong and make this country strong.
No, that's not. Why are you being dramatic? Seriously, why the drama? That's not what he was saying at all. He wants to show that he's strong. No, he wants to make sure that he's healthy. And he wants to make sure that because of the current situation with the people around him that we find are testing positive, or the fact that he's the president of the United States and every precaution should be taken, that under his doctor's guidance, he thought that this would be a good idea. But of course, Chris Cuomo's got to go. Fredo's got to go with the tough guy act.
And I hope doing whatever he does keeps him strong, science notwithstanding.
Do you? Science notwithstanding, because the science of injecting Lysol is still yet to be discovered. Go ahead.
But I know this much. I don't know that it'll help with his health, but it certainly helps to cover up his weaknesses.
Ooh.
Another day that most of the media wouldn't be pressing him about never dealing in any real way with how we reopen.
So that's your concern. Press isn't asking him how we reopen. We see how we reopen. There's a couple of different ways we reopen. Number one, we look at the evidence. How are we doing when it comes to reopening? How's flattening the curve going? Or did you move the goalposts? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you tell us early on, when you didn't know what was going on with this virus, you didn't know a lot about it, that we needed to mitigate, we needed to flatten the curve so that we wouldn't overrun our health system? But now you've moved the goalpost because now apparently that's not what it was about or is about. It's about waiting for a vaccine, which could take, there's evidence to show that there are some trials that are working, and that's fantastic. We may not see it in enough abundance on the market for another year, but what's another year or two between friends of people without a job or a paycheck? We've got a government. And look, that's the bottom line. If you're Fredo, if you're Chris Cuomo, if you're one of the many liberals that listen and watch this program on YouTube, I know that you do because I get your emails. YouTube, Drew Steele Radio, 3 E's. Please subscribe. Even you liberals, we love you. That if it's up to you, that your thinking is that a bigger government, an all-benevolent government, a government that tells us, listen, I'm going to grab you and your kids and I'm going to stick a needle in your arm because you are a safety risk and we have every right to do it. And I'm going to come along and we're going to plunge a needle into your arm, the quote of Alan Dershowitz about vaccines, that's who you have to listen to. The American people are like, you know what? Yeah, there was a point where we were scared. There's a point where we were worried. It's a point where we started to read more and more information. It's a point where we started to look at flattening the curve and doing everything we needed to do. And now you're moving the goalposts and yeah, so are we. We're going around the goalpost. And now it's time to start opening up businesses. Now it's time to get to the beach. Now it's time to open up a little bit and start to live our life because we live on margin every single day because every single day we live with the risks of life. Every day we live with risks in life. Every day when we get in a car, we drive with risk. Every time we fly with risk. We know the risks. And we've been here for millennia, and now we're supposed to believe that this is the one virus that's going to wipe out the planet. Is that your suggestion? And so we're supposed to go with your bureaucrats, your technocrats, your leadership. No. I think that's done. I think now we make that decision about our freedoms and our liberties, and we have enough information, and now maybe we go around. Not in a disrespecting of laws way, no. Understanding that there's ways to do this and the importance of looking and saying that we get it. We understand what your motivations are. We're concerned about your motivations. Nicole Sapphire, researchers at NYU found patients given hydroxychloroquine along with zinc sulfate and Z-Pak were 44% less likely to die from the coronavirus, contradicting an earlier JAMA study. Hydroxychloroquine may aid to absorb zinc. We're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to bring that up. No, because we have to bring up the one study that would show that it doesn't work, regardless of what the conditions were when that study was happening. And gosh, I thought I had it and I lost it. You know, there is there was an officer that was out there in New Jersey, I think it was Belmar, who, there was a gym that was looking to open, and the officer basically walked up and said, I know you guys are all not following the governor's orders, but have a nice day, and walked away. To the cheers of the many who want to go back to their gym, want to go back to their salon, want to go back to their paychecks, want to go back to work. And those are patriots. Those are people that understand. And there's going to be a lot more of that. All right. every day, streaming live on YouTube. There we are. At Drew Steele Radio and Facebook, of course, at 925 Fox News. It's Daybreak 925 Fox News. Right all along, we need to, I know, because they're knocking on my door. We got to go to weather and find out what's happening with the remainder of the forecast with Week News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
86 degrees for your Tuesday afternoon with a lingering chance for some pop-up isolated rain as it works its way inland. Temperature-wise, we will be in the upper 80s to near 90 for your Wednesday. Few isolated showers are possible. And then as we hit late week,